5D Mystery School.
This is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Blessings. Three little birds is by my doorstep. Hold on, we jamming real quick. I hope y'all jamming with me. This is gonna be the playlist for the apocalypse. This is the playlist for the apocalypse. Worry about a thing. You know, this is my absolute favorite album. I've listened to this album probably without being hyperbolic like over 1,000 times. No, that's probably exaggerating. Maybe a cool 200 times I listened to this album. I hope that everybody is having a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful experience. Be alright. Don't worry. How y'all doing? Put it in the chat. Let me see how y'all doing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright, baby. Let me know if my heater is loud in the background. I'm too hot, but I had to turn on the heater, make it a little spicier. Y'all, the vibrations are high. The vibrations are high. Welcome into the stage. Welcome into the stage.
You jamming. I'm with it. I like it.
Jamming is part of, and it has to be a part of your life, man. You gotta find your vibe. You gotta find your vibe. How are you? Feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. Couple hours maybe, I don't know.
Right. I'm good. No complaints. I don't like to complain. I'm here, blessed and highly favored.
Ooh, okay now. Blessed and highly favored by the divine.
Yeah.
You know what? Tonight's gonna be we might have church tonight.
Okay.
You hear me? You hear me? There's a lot that we need to discuss, and I truly want to hear from you all. I want to see some new faces. I want to hear some new voices. I want to hear what you guys are thinking, hear what you women are thinking. Happy International Women's Month. Happy belated International Women's Day to all my women. I give you flowers. I celebrate you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for bringing life into this world through your womb, aka the Matrix. Thank you for always looking beautiful. And actually, that's all I'm saying. And y'all be looking with the curves and everything. I love women. I love y'all so much.
Listen, I know my daughter just left from out of my room right when I brought you. Said she is jamming.
You damn Skippy. Bob Marley, man, listen. It's just a different type of, the vibration of music, man, you can tell when music was recorded with love, when it was recorded with, peace, joy, happiness. And whenever I hear Bob Marley's music, I'm telling you, it's a different vibration. It's especially redemption song, Waiting in Vain is like my favorite. I love waiting in vain. It's like, I'm not gonna wait in vain for you, baby. Either you go see me where I am, you go see my potential, or you go get to stepping. That's basically what he was saying in the song. I'm not gonna wait forever. You could, you know what I'm saying? Shoot.
They're like, come on now.
You hear me? Plenty of fish in the sea, and I got fish traps. Hello.
Yeah.
I got fish traps, baby. Taking your time. Better recognize.
Not the nets in the water.
You hear me? You know, I want to do something different today, y'all. I want to do something different today. If you guys probably haven't seen, or not probably, you haven't seen me in your timeline this week, but the subscribers have. We've been going hard in the background doing our workshop, and we've been doing rising meditations every day for like the past 2-3 weeks, right? So I think we need to do a midday meditation. I think we need to do a midday meditation. Somebody say I'm on something different. Yes, I am high on life.
Look, it's
You hear me?
yeah.
You hear me? My vibrations are due to natural order of organic living.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yes, 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 y'all. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to close our eyes. We're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our nose. And I'm just going to write 3-minute meditation here so people just won't come in looking at us like, what the hell are they doing? It's a 3-minute meditation. So pen that. Okay, it is 4:07. We are going to stop at 4:10. You're going to inhale through your nose, exhale out through your nose. Focus on your breath. Whenever your thoughts seem to get erratic, just bring your attention back to the breath. Okay? Okay, here we go. 4:07, stopping at 4:10. Focus on your breath. Less than 30 seconds. Okay. Let's bring your attention back to your breath and your surroundings. Bring your attention back to your breath and then your surroundings. How do you all feel? How was that meditation for you? For me, it was calming. It was calming because I was definitely on 10. So it was calming for me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
It
Just
was.
came from the bookstore, you know. It's feeling great. Feeling great. And so today, for those who did not see the post, we are going to be watching The Matrix tomorrow. One of my favorites. We're going to be watching The Matrix tomorrow at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to have to use Zoom. We're going to have to use Zoom. And Zoom only allows you to go for 40 minutes. So what we did last Friday is that at the end of 40 minutes, I'm going to see how much it is to sign up, but I'm not about to pay, like, Zoom be charging crazy prices. Anyway, what we did last week is that we watched the film for 40 minutes, and then when the 40 minutes was coming to an end, I created another Zoom room, and then we just use this website to kind of, I post the link there, and then we kind of went back to the Zoom. So we're gonna have to figure out how to post the link this time. I might just use like 2 different Zoom accounts or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But
You could do with 2 different email addresses.
yeah, I could do that. We're gonna have to use like a base website just to kind of like for everybody to see where the link is, you know, and like to come back. So I'll figure that out. Maybe on my Twitter or something. I'm not sure, but I'll post a link so you guys can know what we're doing. But yeah, we're doing that tomorrow. I'll have it figured out by tomorrow. And then, yeah, and we're going to be doing this film night. And I don't see it stopping in the foreseeable future. So we're just going to keep it going. It's probably just going to be like a slight break when I'm moving. I'm moving next month. And yeah, it's probably going to be a break, but we'll figure it out. So 3 things I want to talk about today. The first is I want to hear your thoughts. Come up to the stage. You can put your name in the queue. Send me a request if you want to come up on stage. I want to hear your thoughts on recent UFO sightings. I want to hear your thoughts on extraterrestrials and UFOs. Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all.
Oh, we're going there.
We going there. We are going to tap in tonight. We're going to tap into some topics that need to be talked about. Also, another topic is time speeding up, or is the sun and moon circling faster? Is it circling faster?
Oh.
And last but not least, I want to hear your thoughts on, because we're moving it into this Pluto and Aquarius energy. So I would like to hear your thoughts on innovative topics like taking our power back with living. This is going to be one of the main topics for the foreseeable future. Like, I've been talking about this for at least, I don't know how many years, for a while, you know. So, I mean, tiny homes, living in RVs, living in school buses, kind of saying, wait a minute, why are we paying rent? Why are we working 8 hours a day for this measly, this like $8 an hour, $10 an hour? So I want to hear your thoughts on how we're taking the power back, the revolution, because the revolution is coming, the apocalypse, dystopian period, because a lot of us are having dreams about this. So yes, I want to talk a lot about that tonight. I want to hear your thoughts on how are we going to take the power back? Because, I mean, we look at France. Look at what they're doing in France. They are not messing around at all. They are not messing around at all. And we need to follow suit because they don't like the way that things are going over there in France. And they are having a revolution right now. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's like a French Revolution, and a couple of years from now, in retrospect, people will look back and say, oh yeah, that was like the 2023 French Revolution. It's going to go down in history as that way. So what are we going to do? We're up next. People look at like the USA is the trend-setting country. What are we going to do? Everybody looks to us. Like when we were doing like Black Lives Matter, the entire world was saying Black Lives Matter, even though I have my own thoughts about what that was. But whenever we go through something here, the world, it sends out vibrations throughout the world. And maybe this is just an ethnical, graphical type of thought. But I have been around the world and I do see how other people live. And, America is like this country that's put on a pedestal. So what are we going to do? Are we just going to sit back and let them crash trains in every single country? I mean, every single state? They're poisoning our waters, y'all. They're they're trying to unalive us. I don't know how many train derailments it's going to take for people to realize, oh shit, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get rid of us. Maybe they're trying to, yeah, they are. They are. So that's what I'm going to say. Kayla's going to come in and soothe the room with her poetry, and we're gonna talk about it.
All right. Just looking through where we are right now in the astral, I wanted to present a piece that was reflective of Jupiter and Aries, the Jupiter and Aries transit. And everything is connected, and it's really just beautiful to see the connectivity of it all. It is. I'll say that for later. But Jupiter and Aries, so it's giving an expansion of identity. Our thoughts of our identity expands. We start to think about things like worthiness. So this piece is all about worthiness. Expand your thoughts of worth, for the world is at your feet. Believe in your power, for what you seek is only above the peak and through the valley that expands the truth of who you are. Give yourself not rations, but set your plates to feast at the table of endless abundance. For this is the birthright of the soul that is mirrored when we look into the eyes of our tribe. And the affirmation to go with this is, I am worthy of my soul's desires. Peace, family.
Yes. Love it. I love it. Give you a couple of snaps there. Give you a couple of snaps. That was poetry.
I'll take the snaps.
Rhythm and motion. Yes, y'all. Okay. So we have our first face coming up. Zahn.
Oh. Y'all were like doing your thing.
Oh yeah, we getting straight into it.
Oh.
Yes.
Hi everybody.
Blessings.
Let me get up and sit up. I'm working on my laptop.
Yes.
How was your day today? Full report.
Man, my day was filled with synchronicities. Confirming synchronicities. When you make a decision and then you go forward and then you don't second guess yourself, but you're like, I know this was the right decision, but it would sure be nice to, I'm getting feedback from somebody.
Let me mute myself.
Okay.
Let me mute.
Yeah. When you make a decision and you just get that validation from source, the green flags to let you know, go ahead. I'm just gonna watch you. You're doing a good job. I love when that happens. So that was my day. What about you, Caleb?
I did a whole lot of nothing. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey.
I was the water. I was the boat floating in the water with no power. Just I've been trying not to force anything, and I'm going through this clean streak. So just kind of monitoring, doing a whole bunch of nothing, not forcing myself to do anything, which can be a thing for me. I have a tendency to try to make myself busy when all I need to do is sit down.
Yes. Yes, there's stillness. It's
Yeah,
it's important.
that's what I've been forcing myself to do, is be still, because I am a overworker, and I'll like overdo it just to be like I'm doing something. Like when you were saying like to be booked and busy, I was like, oh, I need to like slow down. Spirit's been saying that like over and over again, but I keep getting reminded again to like slow down, chill out. The projects you're working on, they will come to pass. They will come to fruition. Like you just need to like take a day at a time. Because this rising, I had like, not gonna lie, I had a crazy rising. Like I was just super emotional. And
Tell us about it.
Okay, yeah. So I had a huge breakdown where I was just like, where am I supposed to go next? Like, I got a notice about part of my rent not being paid, so I was like, okay, Spirit, you told me to come here. What's going on with the money? Then I'm like, I've been sitting here not worried. You've been saying the money is coming, and I was like, I just had a moment where I was like, wait, am I doing the right thing? Like, and like you just said, all the synchronicities today was like, yes, you're in the right place. You're doing the right thing. You just need to really be still. And that is very hard when things are not like where you think they should be.
Right.
So it feels like almost like I'm a child being put like in a seat, like sit down. And you need to stay there and like just think and strategize. So yeah, I like called my mom. So basically, just to be transparent, I like called my mom, which I don't like to do when I have like a breakdown, because I'm usually like, she's probably going to also be affected by it. I'm a Cancer, so like she's going to have a huge impact on that. So I was like, I'm not gonna call. I'm not gonna bother anybody. I'm just gonna stay like by myself. And I remembered, I was like, this is God, because I remember when we were looking at the charts, it was like, don't isolate yourself. Don't feel like no one is there. Like you have a mother who's here and present. So like, call her. She would rather you do that, because she can feel when something is off with me. She said it many times. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like let it all out. So I did. I had like a huge crying episode and was just like, what the fuck is going on? But now I'm better.
The Cancer signature. That's what we do best. That's what we do best. Every time somebody got something to say about a Cancer, they're probably somewhere crying. Well, yeah, 75%. You're probably right.
Yeah, it was an I haven't cried like that in a minute, and I had fasted all yesterday because I was really like, God, what am I supposed to do next? And I got the downloads of like what I'm supposed to do, and it really is to continue what I'm doing, but not overwork, like not go rush it. Because right now I'm like, I need to rush it so I can get the result fast. But I'm safe, I'm protected, so I don't need to do that. Nobody's banging at my door. I'm divinely protected. So nobody's banging at my door, nobody's kicking me out. Like the management building owner was like, what's up this morning? And I was like, wait.
What?
Like, what? Aren't you supposed to be like, where's the raise? And so it was very eye-opening to me. Like, when I relax, everything else relaxes around me. And so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna play with my dog, spend time with my dog. And that's my other thing. I was heartbroken because I was like, Spirit, are you telling me like I gotta leave, like go surrender my dog and like just move home. And my foot started twitching, and it just twitched again. Wow. My left foot started twitching when I started talking about home. So I just Googled, like, what does that mean? Like when your left foot twitches, and it was like you're headed the wrong way. Like that's the wrong direction. And so I was like, okay, so if not home, if I'm moving, like, and it's just like, I keep being told to be still. So I'm like, it'll come to me when it's supposed to come to me. But even my mother was like, it makes no difference for you to, and that's not like her to say. Mm-hmm. Usually she would be like, you should come home, I'm worried, da, da, da. But she was like, it makes no difference for you to like be doing your entrepreneurship in LA versus here. You be doing the same thing. So why do all that and like get up and like scramble your life? Don't make impulsive decisions. And I was like, am I talking to my mother right now? Like, what do you mean? Usually she's like, come home, I miss you, da 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 da. So it was really like, I felt like spirit spoke through her. Like, dude, because I was really on the verge. I was about to call the adoption center. Like, I was like, you know what? Okay, I guess it's a wrap. Like, I guess it's like, I gotta go. But I know a bunch of people helped me move here. I was so protected in moving here, even with getting my dog here. Pit bulls can't fly. Let me tell you a short but long story about, like, I was trying to get her on a flight here. I called every airline. Mm-hmm. It was like, no. So that's when I thought I had to surrender my dog then. Tell me why this lady on the airline, she was like, sir, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I know some companies that can drive her there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, you do? Like, people do that? And it's like kind of like Uber for dogs. So
wow.
Yeah, but like long distance. So it's random people, not really companies, that just love dogs, that drive them because they can't fly. And she gave me like all the information. It was just everything in the right away. Like I got like so many requests to like drive her. And I was like, you know, Spirit told me to drive her, but I didn't really get the download at the time. And it was like, okay. Oh no, yeah, so Spirit told me to drive her, and then I didn't get the download at the time. And after that interaction with the airline, I was like, oh, he meant like not me drive. Like, oh, speak out like driving. And I had saw the people I actually went with, I had saw their logo on an ad, and I felt inclined to click it before, but I didn't do it because I was like, no, it's easier to fly her. And so that's why it's like when I finally landed in California, I was like, I'm supposed to be here because the way things just like, shift, like I got this covered. Like my godfather, who I don't even really talk to, like covered a lot of my travel expense. And it was just like I booked a lot of jobs right before I left. So I was able to like also pay for stuff myself. It was just very like a magical moments that I was really having to use my faith. And still I was thinking that it was done. Yeah. And it was I was like, okay, I made it.
All right, so
yeah,
I appreciate you sharing with us, man, because I know that I know that it's good to we having this human experience, you know what I mean? Like, so I know that somebody related with what you just said. You know,
yeah, I actually joined for the alien stuff, but
okay, good. I was about to take it there. I'm like,
I wasn't expecting to go into
no. You good, but tonight I want to get in some rabbit holes. So yes, what are your thoughts on UFOs and And also, if y'all live in LA, I might be seeing y'all soon, but that's another topic. But let's talk about UFOs. Let's talk about extraterrestrials. What are your thoughts on these recent UFO sightings? Do you think they're real? You think they're fake? Why is it that we can never get a video from an iPhone, a clear video, even a 7-Eleven, like, security camera? We always get these Motorola 1995 flip phone type of videos. So what are your thoughts on this?
Motorola.
I had a dream that it was fake. I had a dream that we were being abducted by aliens, like these white pods, but it was really the government. And it was like I was headed to Coachella. I think I was hanging with Kanye West, which was like really strange. And we were headed to like a festival in a field. And I got the feeling, I was like, we're about to be abducted. And then Kanye was like, run. And there was this big like white ship in the sky. But he was like freaking out. And then I was like, oh my God, wait, is this an abduction? But it didn't feel like an abduction. It felt like, this is not aliens. Why would they ride this? Like, it was like a white pod kind of like floating in the sky. And they were like basically people had chips like inside their neck. And they were like making people pass out with the chips that they had already like implanted in them. And like people were just falling out. But it made people think that didn't have the chip that they would fall out too. Like if there was like this light that came on it. So the light came into like this building I ran into. And I thought I was like being abducted and I thought they got me. And so I fell out and then I woke up like, and then I wrote that dream down because I was like, whoa. And then when I went back to sleep, it was like this lady, I don't know who she was, but she was like, you just have to like ignore it. And you won't be hurt. And it reminded me, I don't know, did you share a dream like that earlier?
Oh, Kayla, yeah. Today, a little earlier in the live.
Yeah. So that's
like
what I was
on like law enforcement and like a lot of secrets coming out. And Kayla, actually, now that you mention that, I did have I don't know if I told y'all this, but I had a dream that there was a bunch of cops being arrested by the FBI. Yeah. I had a dream that there was a cops being arrested, like it was a bunch of them being arrested by the FBI. And look, we are in Saturn and Pisces for the next 3 years. And one thing I want to tell you guys to look out for is a lot of war over water. Like, oh, Russian ships are causing intimidation. Oh, Chinese ships, like, expect a bunch of ship talk, a bunch of battleship talk, discoveries, UFOs, USOs, underwater submerged objects or unidentified submerged objects. Look for a bunch of that going in the water. Also, water systems.
You have feedback. There's like an echo. Is it?
Yeah, Zon, if you can mute yours when we're talking, there's something about your phone. Okay.
I'm in a very like echo. The ceilings make it like super echo. So I'll mute.
Okay. It's look for a bunch of like, how all these train derailments are taking place in the water. So, just a lot of things relating to the water. Saturn in the sign of the water, Pisces, underwater, deep water things. So the law and water systems being restructured, clean water pipes, especially hopefully Flint, that whole thing comes back up again. So a lot of things like that, because the train derailments, all these toxic chemicals going into the water supply. I said this like 2 weeks ago. If the Mississippi, look, y'all, it's one of those things where we are the frog. We're in the pot. The water is, for lack of better words, fucking blazing, right? And we have to be vigilant. We have to be serious about what's going on, because if we just look at what's happening like, oh, did y'all see another train derailment and just laugh about it, they're watching us. they're looking at it saying, "Oh, we can just poison them all. They're just gonna they're willingly say, you know." So like, either
Especially
we're gonna
with how
continue,
Twitter is.
yeah, either we're gonna continue to sit on our ass and do nothing, just stay fat and happy, or we can take us to their front door. You know what I'm saying? Like, really get serious about it. Like, wait a minute, hold up. Y'all not only poisoning me, y'all poisoning my little sister, y'all poisoning my mom. Like, it's serious. So we have to ramp it up a little bit and bring it to their front doorstep. Like, I don't care if they're watching this right now. We probably got to take it to the government, you know what I'm saying? And really question them, like, this isn't a coincidence. How many trained enrollments has it been now? Probably 10. When has this ever happened? I don't think people realize that COVID, whatever that is the first time in history that there is a global pandemic, right? There have been global flus, the Spanish flu, everything like that. There has never in our entire man history been a global pandemic. This is the first time ever. So a lot of firsts are happening. Time is getting shorter. People are noticing this. Like, the days are going by in blurs.
Yes.
Blurs.
3 o'clock. Look, we got here so fast.
It was so fast.
So fast.
Like,
I looked
it
at
felt
my
like
clock
no
like,
time.
what the hell? Like, yes. What do
Right?
you
It's
think?
like you don't have enough time to do anything in a day anymore. You're like, wait a minute. It feels like a day. Like, you know how you feel like, oh, I got a couple hours to get this done? Days feel like, oh, this day is a couple of hours. It doesn't feel like 24 whole hours anymore. The sun and moon are circling faster, which is how we perceive time. So notice, and this might be a deep rabbit hole, but the more AI advances, the faster we think time is getting. Why is that? Does it have anything to do with quantum computers? Okay, so
because the computer is controlling the speed, the matrix. The AI is controlling the speed of the matrix. That's what I think. That's what's popular.
And our attention spans. I feel like our attention spans, since they're short, well, not everybody's, but the real zombies out here, the attention span is like so much shorter. So I wonder how that actually, because I would like to think that most people here are at least present in the room because they had some kind of like awakening. But what do people outside of this room, how are they perceiving time? Like, is there a shift at all when you're really in the matrix?
Nope. Some people are lost in the sauce. I asked somebody the other day, I'm not going to mention anybody's name. I asked somebody, it's like, hey, there's like all these train derailments happening. Some of them happen in the same day. A lot of them are by the same company, Norfolk Southern. You got to bring it to their front door. Find out where, never mind. Anyway, the CEO of Norfolk Southern, you're not safe. That's not a threat. I'm just saying, you better watch out. So here's what I think about everything that's happening. I asked somebody the other day, do you think everything that's happening right now is peculiar? They said, no, I don't think it's strange at all. I just think that, sometimes trains derail. And I was like, oh, wow, people are fully plugged in. Yeah. Okay, I get it. No judgment, but some people you just have to, see them for what it is. Some people are plugged in and they like being plugged in to the matrix. But the people who are not plugged in, aka us who are here right now, what are we going to do? Because it's us. It's up to us. Are we going to let our, I don't have any children yet, but if I had children and they had children, are they going to look back and say, oh, my granddad did nothing? Nothing? Because I remember when I was in elementary school and I was reading about everything that was happening with like the civil rights and like all these different things. I was like, look, if I was around back then, it wouldn't have been like that. And now we're here. And what are we doing? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Nothing.
It's slavery repeated.
What
is
Kanye say? Slavery is a what?
Choice.
It's a choice.
And that make so much sense right now because it's like what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know, something I started doing when you see a little like distractive post on Twitter, say Joe Biden post something, and I'll quote, retweet. Like, you know, we should be quoting, like, what about the trains? What about the water? Like, stop letting these people distract us with these little, Lord, with the fake state. You know, we are we are distracted with so many things that sparkle, and we know better. Like, we know better.
Like, I'm telling y'all, the last time that Pluto was dancing with Aquarius, the Industrial Revolution happened. This isn't me guessing. This isn't me making a hypothesis. This is me letting y'all know what is about to happen. Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Pluto is a higher octave of Mars. It means groups coming together. What are we going to do about it? Because I'm looking at y'all. I'll be watching y'all to see who gonna be on my apocalyptic team. Because look, y'all gotta be good with a bat. Y'all gotta have a good scope. You know, because we're getting to a point where the zombie apocalypse is looking like it might be a thing because they're reviving old zombie viruses. I saw that.
I saw that in LA.
I saw nobody's.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say.
No, I don't know who's talking.
They keep putting like it's a you know, they put things out there and they tease and keep letting us know, and then it's like, boom, here it goes. We told y'all, you know, you can act sleep if you want to. There's a certain type of thing when they have to tell you. They have to tell you, but the way that they tell you is delivered in code.
Exactly. Taylor girl said, I'm a good sharpshooter. Okay, I'm taking notes.
They were like, this is an audition. No, I think too that with the state that we're in, like, well, at least one of my theories in my head is like, is it even going to be a physical thing? Like, because I feel like, especially with all this mental health awareness and even I just got a therapist, and even in how some people are doing therapy right now, it's really actually a detriment to your mental health. And I feel that because of, say, the train derailment, and everybody on Twitter responds, and then it's trending. And somebody said I think it was Diva Sound, said like, studying how we react to things.
Exactly.
To know the play.
Yeah.
Perfectly
the
put.
big play.
Perfectly
and so
put.
It's like, I think that one thing we have to do is not have these discussions here and have these discussions in homes together in person with the phones off. Like,
that's a fact.
Because I feel like this is a time where everything is data and everything is, this is how this is responding, even down to our algorithm. Every time you like something, even if you don't like it, if you're just pausing on something really fast, that will come up later on your feed. That's AI. So I can only imagine if that is what Instagram is doing. What are actual like intelligence programs able to do? And then
I can tell you, they use radio signals.
America has a problem, period.
They use radio signals to know where you are, to know what you're saying, to listen, y'all. It is, I mean, in Pluto and Aquarius, so yes, a lot of us are going to be coming together over technology, of course. But when it comes to strategically planning, I think it'll be better to do like they used to do in the old days, how whenever they would have meetings, you know, like planning, they would select a building, and then on the outside, they would draw like a fish on the wall. And then whoever would know what that fish meant, know that that's where they were meeting. So I see, like, I keep having the same consistent dream of being on land with a bunch of people and new things being rebuilt. It even comes up in my meditations, like systems, like new land, like people building new homes, like destruction. But the rebuilding is going to be people finally not paying rent anymore, people taking back agriculture, horticulture, because that's another thing we really need to talk about. Our food is toxic here.
Yep.
Our food is toxic. Like the bananas aren't real. I saw a video the other day. It was like, y'all,
I
our
was
fruit
gonna
does
say
not
the
taste like
bananas
fruit
is
no
The
more.
not.
bananas.
The apples don't taste like apples. The nothing tastes like it. It all tastes like air now. Like it doesn't taste like it's real. Especially when I saw that they had organic seedless grapes, I'm like, oh no, that's a misnomer. There's no such thing. Organic and seedless is not natural. So therefore, we have to, and I thought about this the other day. What would happen if 100 people, no, not 100, that's not enough. 1,000,000 people was like, you know what? I'm not gonna pay rent this month. Or you know what? I'm not gonna shop at anywhere. Walmart. Wow. I just got an alert. Multiple police officers have been shot. What? What did you just say this rising? Okay.
Look,
Okay. Anyway.
another thing another synchronicity.
You just
I
said
was, you know, the COVID, Dr. Fauci mess is all over Twitter right now with the.
That's a false flag.
Right.
Fauci is going to be their fall guy, and then if they take him to prison, it's going to be a clone. Anyway, basically, but so of 1,000,000 people were like, I'm not going to pay rent this month, or I'm not going to shop at Walmart, at Gucci, any place that gives them power, that gives them more money to forward their plans. That's how we have to hit them in their pockets. What are we gonna do, y'all? Like I love talking about this. I love planning, but like,
let me ask you this: why do you think that's so hard for us to do as a collective, to literally not buy it, just go dry for a month if it's not a necessity of eating? Like, don't get shit. Don't get anything. Don't dive into the holidays, these little made up holidays that happen every month. And if you notice, they always give us an excuse to spend money that we don't need to be spending. Half of us don't have it to spend. Everything costs more. People's rent are 5 times what it was last year. Like, we don't have it. Yeah, I know, like, y'all ain't got it. We don't have it.
exactly.
So why are we extending ourselves, oh my God, and breaking our backs, in some cases breaking our souls to be in the motions? Just like to be in the motions. I really want to know, like, what would it take to get just at least 100 people to just not go to Walmart?
Y'all don't be afraid to send y'all requests. I see y'all talking in the comments. Y'all better come up here and speak your mind. You better come up here and speak your mind. Y'all can type all day. I want to hear it out your face, out your mouth.
I think it's one of the things why it's so hard though is the fear of what will happen. If people are already in a state where they fear like the small things, this is a very like big thing. And I think that's why a lot of things did happen the way it happened, to bring the fear, like if there was a fear level, like to bring it higher so that smaller things freak you out so you won't even try the bigger thing. Like, even if you do have faith and if you do feel like you're connected and you are receiving the message, it's still, we still have to use this. Like, I would never, not gonna say I would never, but I wouldn't be able to connect with you if we weren't on this like platform, right? So we still have to be like in, but not, and still like connecting with people and letting people get the message, but not like it's very, even through the mediums that we use, like the gifts we're given, we have to like relay messages, whether that's music or like any form of art or painting, whatever it is. There's messages in that people also use to like, but it's like you have to like kind of be in and out, and I think that's what makes it hard for people to like come together
It's time
and
to
do
get
one
physical.
thing.
It's time to
Yeah.
get physical. We too much. I mean, y'all might even see fewer posts from me online because I said a lot of stuff that I had to say. I mean, y'all might see me more doing lives, but I'm not going to be doing as much content as I've been doing over the past 6 years because I said a lot of stuff and I repeat a lot of stuff, and a lot of people aren't getting the message. I can only say the same things in so many different innovative ways. It's the same message, you know? It's time for action, y'all. It's time for us to get out of the fear, get out of the, what are they going to do? Arrest us? What are they going to, who cares? Look at our predecessors. Look at Malcolm X. Look at all these people who said, you know what? If you got to shoot me, you go shoot me. But I'm gonna get this message out. I'm gonna be the change. We too scared. We too fearful. We always saying, oh, I ain't scared of nothing. I'm brave. But yet, look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. Like I'm tired of the cowardice.
We be acting like we're gonna be here forever,
right?
Like we are
like
actually meant to be in this shit forever. Like there is not a better, glorious, expansive experience for us after this one. I think a lot of it is overstanding our place and our mission for being here. And it's not to be, and I'm talking to myself right now, it's not to be stagnant. It's not to do a little bit, but be afraid that you're going to do too much. I think a lot of us need to be on, I'm going to do the most. Hey, girl.
Hey,
blessings, welcome.
Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Well,
I'm good. I came out to my car to talk to y'all because I knew if I started talking, my baby would wake up. So,
Jump on in here. What are your thoughts?
When you said, do we feel like the UFOs are real or fake? I think it's both. I think they already been here. We've already seen it with our own two eyes. So it's like we know they're here, but I feel like them shooting the UFOs down and stuff, I feel like it's a distraction, like everything else. All they do is distract us to turn our focus from what's really happening. I stayed in a really small town in North Carolina. That's where I was born. And I saw so much stuff in the sky. Like, I've seen where I was looking at what I thought was the moon and just happened to turn around, the moon behind me. So what is this? I have pictures of it. Like, I got proof because nobody's going to believe us. So we have to take the pictures. But
I'm from North Carolina, too.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm from Edenton, a little small, tiny
Edenton?
town. Yep.
I was like, you sound like you're from Henderson.
No, but I was born in North Carolina, but I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
All the way around.
Because I was like, I heard it with the accent. I was like, oh, she's from
North Kakalaki in the building.
I'm a true
I'm from Durham.
city girl. Okay, I was just in Durham, so.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I stayed in Durham all the time. Raleigh, Durham, all of that. But, I just feel like it's already here. I've had dreams where, I'm laying on this table and it's a beautiful pink orange sky and I'm hearing voices and they're giving me an ultrasound on my stomach and I hear a lady say it's almost done. She's progressing fine. And I wake up like, what the fuck? Like, and it's been times where I woke up and my arm was floating in the air. And, I'm hearing voices, stop, you're going to hurt it. And I'm like, you going to hurt it? Am I it? I've had experiences, so I know for a fact that it's already here. Like, for example, one night I woke up on the porch and my forehead was up against the porch door. Thank God you got to pull it to get out because if it was a push, who knows where I would have woke up, So, I mean, I've had too many experiences not to believe in it. But at the same time, I don't believe nothing America say. It's just I never have. I've always been a rebel. I've always bucked the system. I was always the bad child, the black sheep. So it's like I don't believe nothing nobody tell me because I'm a Scorpio rising. So it's just like, do you know what you're talking about? Can I trust you? Like,
Scorpio rising in the building.
you still out here voting. Don't talk to me. Like, you know, like, don't talk to me.
You know,
Exactly.
that part.
So it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
we're all dreaming the same dreams. Like, I've had a dream that I was in an all-white room, and I was very irritated because it was social media, and at the time, I was just not feeling social media. And it was Tesla in the dream. It was, like, all the social medias, like, scrolling across the wall. And it was this lady. She was a real pretty white lady. I mean, she was really pretty, and she was giving me instructions. And I was listening to her, but when she turned to walk away, her head was flat. So it was a robot I was talking to, and I have been scared of robots my whole life. Even the damn vacuum cleaner. Don't buy me that shit. Like, I'm not going to wake up and that damn thing hovering over me. Like, I do not like robots. So when I had that dream, you know, Tesla started having issues with the cars. Like, they crashing. They not doing like they supposed to. Elon Musk bought Twitter. So it's just like I'm seeing the synchronicities. And it's just like, are these memories or is it what's to come? Because I go to the same place constantly, and it's always a lot of water. It looks futuristic. You know, we're on these bridges because there's so much water, and it's like we're gliding like rails, not roads. And it's beautiful, but at the same time, it still looks like America. It's a lot of construction everywhere. It's like it's being rebuilt, but the water is alive. So when you walk, the water moves out the way. When the tide comes up, everybody's on the water, but we breathing, you know. And I always think about, you know, they saying it's another world underneath the ocean and stuff, because I've had a dream of me swimming. Y'all, I can't freaking swim, but I'm swimming in all this blue, clear water, and it's this big cave. And every time I reach the cave, the tide comes up, and I'm back on land. So it's like the water is pulling me from the cave, like, don't go there. So it's like, I don't know where this place is that I'm dreaming about, but I've been dreaming about this place since I was a child. And my ancestors are there. So I don't know if it's the other side. I don't know if it's the future. I don't know if it's heaven. I don't know what it is, but I know I've been there too many times for it. I don't know if it's a memory, a parallel universe, or the future. I just don't know. And I have so many dreams of people giving me instructions. I remember everything about the dream but the instructions, you know? So, I don't know, y'all, but...
Wow. That's
Do you write it down?
Well, since I've been taking the course, I've been writing it down because I can remember dreams from when I was a little girl. So it's not the point that I don't remember the dreams. I don't remember the instructions. And I feel like if I don't remember the dream, it'll come to me when I need to remember the dream, if that makes sense. But I have been trying to stop smoking, and it's been challenging because I deal with so many people's energy on a constant basis. And when these spirits start tapping and knocking and pulling, it's just like sometimes I gotta smoke or I'll be up all night channeling, like my adrenaline rushing, like I done took an E-pill or something. You know, that's how channeling feels to me. It feels like I'm high off an E-pill. Like I got adrenaline going through my body, so the only way I can calm down and rest is to smoke, you know. But I have been taking a tolerance break because I know it's a trauma bond that I have with marijuana, you know, and eventually I'm going to have to leave it alone because they fucking with it.
And a lot of people, sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people I feel like are taking breaks right now because that's Saturn and Pisces, discipline.
Hella Pisces in my chart, so this week has been hell, like hell.
Hey Zon, I got Hey Zon, I got some people in the queue. I'm gonna bring you back up once everybody is done. All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's bring Ebony up here. So yeah, I appreciate all this insight too. Your dreams, your thoughts. Like this is some good talk right here.
Felt like I just be sitting quiet, and I'm working on building my confidence back up because this is actually my second Instagram. I've had all the followers, I had all of that, and when I got a taste of that influencer life and that spirit, that real spiritual streets, I just like no. So I ended up getting pregnant and deleted everything. So I'm starting over doing it. I feel like a different way. All money ain't good money. You know, it's some real crazy.
I'm on.
So I'm not chasing no bag no more. The bag gonna come to me. Period.
Hey, Ebony, I'm trying to let you up here. I'm hitting accept. Let's see if Instagram lets you up. Um, so what we're the space that we're moving into, money's not even like get what y'all get. Let's get right back into it, y'all. Let's get right back into it. We diving deep tonight. We are diving deep tonight. Let the ladies get back in here. Let the room fill back up. The vibes are high, y'all. The vibes are high. Taima, I see you. Welcome from Portugal. All right, I see you ladies in the queue. I'm waiting for Kayla to come back up. Brittany, I see you. Welcome. Shout out to the subscribers. All right, there she go. Let's get everybody back up here. Yeah, this conversation is needed. Yeah, let's hop right back into it, y'all.
Hey y'all.
Blessings. So so jumping right back into things, I would like to ask the question, what are we gonna do? Because I'm right now, I'm either thinking like, I'm probably gonna go to LA, or I'm probably gonna go to my land in Florida and just live in an RV or something like that and invite some people to come with me. Because we have to be the change, right? We have to, either we can continue to support the Matrix, or we can be the catalyst for the destruction of the Matrix. We can keep feeding the system money. We can keep, quote unquote, chasing the bag. Or we can be like, wait a minute. Like you just said, all money ain't good money. Why do I want this bag? This is dirty money. So, okay. What are we going to do, y'all? I would like to hear from y'all. Like, like, we cannot be scared. Like, shout out to Asada Shakur. She was not scared. So what are we going to do to follow in the footsteps of the people that came before us that set the trend?
Well, I'll go first if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to my dreams, I've had dreams of fire falling from the sky, and I'm pulling my oldest child and like, come on, and it's a lot of people following me, and I'm just like, I got this gun, like I'm Harriet Tubman, she one of my idols, so I got this gun, and I'm just like, nah. I tried to tell y'all laughed at me, y'all didn't believe me, y'all not coming with me. So while my son, he's about to be 10 on Sunday, my oldest, he had the same dream. And he was like, Mama, I had a dream that, fire was falling from the sky and people was chasing us. And I said, were you scared? He was like, no, but Ma, you was shooting everybody. So it's like in my dream,
Damn.
like, no, I'm not, y'all not coming with me. But in my baby dream, I was blasting them up like, and I said, was you scared? He was like, no, I just kept my head down because I didn't want to see it. And he about to be 10. So this was maybe when he was maybe 7 or 8. I had this dream. And so fast forward to when I met my youngest baby, my former soul's father, I dreamed about this man before I met him. Only he had dreads in my dream, but when I met him, he had cut his hair. But before I met him, I had a dream of me on a bridge, and it was like this long line of people, like maybe thousands of people, and I'm pushing a baby stroller, and I looked up and one of my ancestors said, you in Alligator now, and that's like another small town in North Carolina. So it's like, that's one dream, but then I have another dream, same bridge, and I'm reaching the end of the bridge, and it's chaos, but it's also people running towards their family members, because I ran to my baby daddy. He was standing at the end of the bridge. And normally he's in all black, but in that dream, he was in white. So, I walked away from that situation knowing if this motherfucker meant to be with me, he was at the end of that bridge. So whether it's now or later, was meant for me, not going to pass me. But like I said, I have reoccurring dreams. It's the same places, just different spots. I've had dreams of running in the woods with my baby, people chasing me. So to answer your question, if it come down to the shit,
I'm a be blasting, and I'm gonna be hiding, and I'm gonna be getting my people out the way. And I come from a Christian family, and I keep on telling them, I know y'all don't agree with what I do, but what I do is not wrong. That's what that white man done told you with that Christianity. I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing, because when shit hit the fan, y'all gonna need me. I'm the only one on both sides of my family that's not vaccinated. My babies are not vaccinated. I'm not getting that shit. I passed up a job making $22 an hour and overtime because I had to be vaccinated to do it, and I'm not putting that mess in my body. So when stuff hits the fan, I'm gonna be ready. I'm already buying my water. I'm already buying my canned goods. I already done stopped eating McDonald's. Like, it was hard, but I stopped because wow, like you said the other day, why are you still eating McDonald's when you know what they're doing to the food? It's
Hello.
that
One of the questions is,
programming.
why are we still subscribing to how things are done?
Right,
Period.
Yeah.
Even
right.
our citizenship. So this is something that I'm feeling like really high right now in energy, because
Right?
Me too. I feel it. Like I done popped the e-pill again. Like, this energy is real.
this this potential solution, aside from having email lists of knowing the directory of what everyone is able to do, what their gifts are, what they're able to bring forth together as a community, but specifically, how do we protect ourselves from the government? I'm still doing my research. I'm still looking into it. I am trying to move accordingly based off of how I know other people have their ulterior motives. They're trying to make money. So I don't necessarily know if it's like the best solution, but my intuition is telling me that this may be something that we, as people that are conscious, that are awake, that know that this is some bullshit, need to be doing to exit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a lot of conversations on social media, whether it be by ad or just the algorithm pushing it because of my own interests and just, like-minded individuals, as far as our citizenship, as far as being a non-U.S. citizen, being on the do not detain list, because we're not seeing, if you go through this process, which is a long process, and it's longer depending on how old you are. Again, still looking into it, but it would be great if I was not the only one looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
If we have more people that are doing this, that are unsubscribing, and not being a slave anymore. The becoming on the do not detain list and makes it so that your private endeavors, you as a private citizen, are not caught up in being one of basically the cattle, what's another word for it? Property of the U.S. government.
Sheep.
You're able to drive without having a driver's license, because to drive, which is in the U.S. code, the USC code, when you're driving on the road, you're driving as if you are basically in commercial use, and a lot of us are just driving on the road or operating a vehicle, right? A vessel, a land vessel is the other word for it. Sovereignty, that's the word right there.
Mm-hmm.
As a private citizen, you're not using it for business. So what's the purpose of having the license? So it's just different things of that sort. And I can't go into depth because I don't want to speak wrong, but I just think that one of the solutions, us as a community, in this community right here, everyone that's on this live, or if we're tapping in to this whole way of thought, we need to be doing the work all together of, okay, what are the steps? And not everyone has the same type of lifestyle. Right now, I got two girls running around, 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and we all have different types of lifestyles. We all have different, jobs or, businesses that we're running. So if we all can put in the work together to do the research, to be like, hey, I can reach out to the vital records to make sure that your birth certificate is certified, or, these different types of steps that are needed to, like I said, unsubscribe to be a private citizen, to where the U.S. government can't say a damn thing about your money, about the taxes, about you traveling, as long as you're not fucking with everyone else, if you're not hurting anybody else, you're fine. You're on the do not detain list. That's what I think we need to do, and not have this mentality of, which is the issue of, this is how things are going. This is how things have always been. Why are you trying to not do that anymore? Why even, like, what are you even talking about? Like, just writing it off, you know? I think if we're trying to be truly free and we're trying to protect ourselves, we really have to dig deep into how that is done and what it looks like. And not just on the topical side of, like, there's the Hereafter Farm. There's all these different types of groups of people that are coming together to buy land to have these communities, so that it's, the word powwow came to mind, but it's specifically a enclosed system. There are things that need to be in place so that that enclosed system is not jeopardized. Now, like I said, I think all of us should be doing the research. All of us need to look into what it really takes, all the steps that need to be taken to unsubscribe, so that we're not in the predicament of our forefathers, of where we're coming together as a conglomerate to change and to make change and to protect our children, right? To change the future, where we're getting bombed, where we're being shot, we're being assassinated, we're being killed. And then the cycle continues, because we are moving into a whole different paradigm right now.
Yes. Thank you for the information. I definitely took some notes. I appreciate that. I know everybody appreciates that, especially the creating a directory. That's super important. That's definitely stood out to me. Now, a few things. I made a post last year about this very thing. I said, hey guys, I have this idea of creating a rent-free community. Who's down? And I mean, the response was overwhelming. People were DMing me saying, I can do this. These are my skills. I can create this, this, this. And I was like, okay, hold up for a little bit. It's coming. It's time. It's time.
Delegate.
Now I'm with the whole private citizenship thing, but at the point that we are at now, like, it matters, but it's to the point where the system has to be restructured. Like, because let's face it, out of what you just said, 1,000 people will hear you. Maybe five would think about it, and maybe one would do it. So I want to, because it's good to be proactive, right? And the reason why I'm speaking with such urgency, like, you guys probably haven't heard me speak like this in a while, or before if you're new, because it's serious, y'all. Intuitively, I feel like if we don't get it together, it's gonna be too late. Like, it's time to stop messing around. It's time to stop playing around. Like, if you are only worried about chasing the bag, you're out of alignment. If you're only worried about, furthering the agenda of the matrix, you're far out of alignment. It's time for restructuring, guys. Like, when I say, the reason I keep saying Pluto in Aquarius is because it's a very important transition, probably the most important transition in our lifetime. So then, this means more people are going to come together. But before we actually come together, because they are expediting their plans, what I mean is that look around you. How many trains are, how many, I mean, it's not even the trains, it's the trains, it's the,
all of it.
It's the, them intentionally,
all of it.
them intentionally bankrupting the U.S. If you guys haven't noticed, we are sending billions to Ukraine every week. That means that we're going to be bankrupt. Matter of fact, they already say that we're hitting our cap, we're hitting our ceiling, we're about to be bankrupt. So that means that
sending billions over there when there's hella homeless people right here in America. I never understood that. Like, what? And then we already in debt. How, if we're in debt already, then where are all these billions of dollars coming from to send to Ukraine?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
I mean, it's coming from the endless credit that we support, the fake money that we have. So it comes down to
they print money. It's not
money.
Who do we need debt to? The Transformers? Come on, like, they print money.
Yeah,
we're not in debt to anybody.
Like,
It's It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Our money, first of all, you have to realize what is a dollar. A dollar is a borrowed item from the Federal Reserve. Every
Yeah.
single dollar you have in your pocket is borrowed. It's not yours. So this phrase, my money, is a misnomer. It's never your money, first of all. Second of all, the dollar is not backed by anything but our imagination. So
At this point,
even them sending money to you, they're sending paper money. It's them. It's a psychological war, y'all. They're doing everything to beat us down, to get our vibrations down. They feed off our fears. So we can either sit back, be afraid, stay fat and happy, eat McDonald's, let them continue their plans, or we can say, no, you know what? Actually, we are rising up. We are going to be the change. Because if not, we're going to sit back and be poisoned. And in history, they're going to say that we loved it. We accepted it. We welcomed it. What are we going to do?
So that list that you have, I feel like it's, and anyone else, like we all have our communities around us. It may not be as many, it could be a little less people, but just having our resources of individuals that have skill sets. You know, we talked about the bartering, all of that. I think it comes down to, at this point, of we need to start delegating, and because we can't tackle everything on our own. We know this, but it's another thing to understand and overstand and recognize that, you know, for example, in the subscriber community that you have, you know, I forget her name, but I don't know if she took it upon herself or there was a conversation of just making that that board of or not the pamphlet, just the visual of the specific things that we need to get for our dream workshop, right? To know yourself workshop. But just having things of that, recognizing of who can organize, who is good at collecting seeds, who is good at germinating it, who is good at building houses, carpentry, who is good at this, who is good at childcare, who is good at, you know, different types of stuff like that, and putting it in different boxes and just straight up getting to work.
Exactly.
Not just like talking about it, but just like, okay, this week,
tired of
this is what we're going to accomplish. You know, having a step-by-step thing.
Look, we've been saying, like, know your tribe. Your tribe is here, you know, and have a plan with your tribe. I think, like, let's start there. I have friends who I call randomly, like, where are we meeting when the apocalypse hit? You know, and real serious, like, not joking. Where are we meeting? What is the meeting point? If we can't, you know, we get separated and we're on different sides of the country or whatever, what is our meeting points? Like, those type of conversations have to be, because when the shit hits the fan, you need to plan.
Yeah. Can I actually exit out of this? Someone had tried to call, so I can't really hear anything. I'm going to exit and then come back on, if that's cool.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
What do you think, Astro? What do you think the first step of the gathering of the tribe, what does that look like for you?
What we're doing right now, not being afraid to talk about it, because sometimes we're like, oh, I can't say that. The government might hear me. They're watching. Fuck that. Who cares? What are they going to do? Come get me right now, boy. Like, nah, we're not living in fear. We have to, like she just said, create a directory. We have to be actionable, take actionable steps. What does that look like? Buying land. What does that look like? Getting 1 million people on the same page to say, okay, this date through this date, we're not going to shop at this place, this place, this place. And we actually have to do it. I'm not just saying these things because they sound pretty. I'm saying these things because, y'all, like I said, if we don't get it together, they have expedited their plans. And their grand plan is for 2030. So with time speeding up, with days going by faster, we actually have to, matter of fact, you can get a group of 10 people. Only one person has to have the land. One acre can hold an easy 100 people if they had their own school buses. I mean, I got like a cool 3 acres. I'm waiting, and I'm not bringing no dead weights. I'm talking about people that are ready. I need warriors. I need gardeners. I need engineers. You know what I'm saying? Like, build your team. If you're watching this and you don't got a squad, you don't even have a bug out bag. If something were to happen right now, we were to get bombed tomorrow, what would you do? What would you do? Or are you sitting around watching TV all day? What would you do? They're planning, we're not. That's the whole thing.
Yes.
The only way that chess is a game is because both sides are going at each other. It's a war that we're in, y'all. It's a war. And I've seen so many people who are in like war veterans on TikTok right now warning us. They're like, y'all, I've been in this war. I've been in this war. You got people who've been in like 3 wars saying, I know what to look out for, and they are setting the stage right now. They are boxing us in, and they are coming up with this thing called 15-minute cities, right? To where I reposted a video on Twitter, right, where they have this thing set in place to where if enough water was considered poison, toxic, then they can take over the land and kick people out of their land. What's happening right now? Trains are derailing everywhere, which is making that land toxic, which is going to kick a lot of people out. Look at what happened in Ohio. Those people can't live there anymore. They have to leave their home and get up out of there. So it's like we're moving into this Mad Max type of era where a lot of us are going to be out here with backpacks in the street because we can't go back to our home no more. We got to build new cities. This is why a lot of us are having these dreams. So it's coming. It's not even a prediction. It's a duh. Do y'all not see it like happening right now all around us? So I'm going to say this again. Ebony came in with the energy of solutions. What are we going to do, y'all? I want to see solutions in the comments. I want to hear more solutions. You know, a lot of us are living in fear. Oh, I don't know if we can do this. Oh, the government's going to. No.
And I feel like the super connectivity. And, you know, if everyone who is watching this live, like our food intake, that is something that we really need to be more responsible for. The spring season is here. We all should be sowing seeds, and I mean that literally. Like you should be collecting, not only collecting. Now it's the time to start planting. Like there are certain things that are in the grocery store. Like we should have to go to the store for them. We should be growing this shit at home.
Right.
And when you see the difference from a farm cucumber, like my daughter loves to grow cucumbers, but from a farm cucumber to the one that you get at the store, it's like night and day.
It's different. My grandfather has always had a garden since I can remember, and it tastes fresher, it's crisper, it lasts longer.
Look,
it doesn't go bad.
Real. It's real.
It has flavor. It tastes like something.
Yes.
Right. But my question is, okay, so we could be ready, we could be preparing, we could be doing everything we need to do. What we going to do about the non-believers, like our mamas, our daddies, or our grandparents, our elders that are set in their ways and can't see, you know, where we're coming from? Because I done made up in my mind, I'm going to take my babies and whoever, you either going to listen to me or you're not. But when shit hits the fan, don't think you coming with me. I'm going to be
you
like,
in the next life.
Yeah.
I told my mom, I said, maybe I'm the Noah of my generation. Like, everybody didn't get on that ark, if it was even an ark. But everybody didn't make it. We can't save everybody.
Everybody.
So,
what do you think? Everybody can't go.
Facts.
So at the very least, I think everyone should, and whatever resonates with this for you, put some power behind it and take some action. And it's not going to happen immediately, but I think everyone at the very least, number one, recognize that they control the internet. So having the Kindle, having things online, unless you have like a PDF and you saved it, like you have access to it, you can print it out. We need to invest in books. And we need to start getting studying at the very least, because I don't think, maybe it's the case but I think it would be better to have just having the connection of different communities. You know, you don't want to be caught up all in the same area. We want to have variety because, you know, you're able to grow different fruits and vegetables or have different types of, I don't know, like attributes based off of where you're at. But at the very least, invest in these type of books. I'm going to show you what I have, and I'll
Before they
take my
start burning
time.
the libraries, because that's coming.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
always buy my books. I don't like reading off of my phone.
First
Yes.
thing,
Like, what?
start to farm. Yes.
Yes.
You need to know they have I think the Western and Eastern Garden, the complete DIY guide for greenhouses. Now, when you get into the edibles, companion planting is very important. Also having a homestead, recognize this comes with complete sustainable living. So we're talking about aeroponics, hydroponics, solar power, and so on and so forth. Now, you have your garden, you're growing your food, but it's not going to be an easy ride. So you have to deal with the pests that come along with it. And then preserving your food. What's the word I'm looking for? Invest in a canner, canning your food.
Fermenting.
I can show you mine. It's huge, but it's good. Invest in mason jars because glass. I remember a couple of years ago, glass was they were saying glass was starting to run out basically.
Yeah.
So invest in your mason jars. Medicinal herbs is very important. You don't want to be caught up in the hospital. You want to be able to take care of yourself. Know all the different types of remedies. Also get a map of the state or where you're at. But you should have a map where you have your state and also the whole country, which, you know, we invested in that. That's in our bug out bag. Root cellaring. You won't always have to be able to have the preserving the food, but root cellaring involves having the natural, it says no natural cold storage. So like it could be underneath the ground. It could be a certain type of container, like a natural refrigerator, basically. That's what root cellaring is. And then raising farm animals.
My homies. I love animals. I got in Florida, we have some goats, pigs. We got a lot of animals down there. And it's good too. We got chickens and everything. Like that's another thing too, y'all. Like farming, growing our own food, buying our land is essential. Like she just said, getting seeds before they make that illegal.
Yes.
Buy books before they start burning libraries, because I intuitively know that's coming. Watch Fahrenheit 451. But yes, these are great actionable steps to be taken. Hey, so Mamju, I got somebody else in the queue. If possible, I'll bring you up later. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Yes, these are really good things. This is making me happy. This is what we should be doing, and we shouldn't let blessings welcome.
Hey.
Welcome. Yeah, so for my men, if y'all not training every day, you out of alignment. Like I feel like I can take on 10 men right now. Like you should learn how to fight, know how to work them hands. You know what I'm saying? Like don't be scared. Like don't fight unless you need to fight, but learn how to work them hands, because it's gonna come down to a time where that's battling is probably going to have to be necessary. We're going to have to physically fight for what we believe in.
How do you feel about firearms?
I don't like firearms. I like to use these hands. I've been doing martial arts for a long time. My kick is probably more lethal anyway. So yes. I need men who are.
We love to hear.
I need men who are not afraid. I don't need no afraid, scared men on that. We need warriors to step up, because I'm seeing a lot of women who are brave. I'm seeing a lot of women who are taking the reins of the revolution. I need men to step up and stop being scared. Like, where are y'all at? I don't see nobody.
Come on, you're preaching. That's yes. We need more of that. We need more of that.
And it don't have to be one thing too. It could be capoeira. It could be jujitsu. It could be all the. There's so many different types of martial arts. Like, use your body and and know what resonates
It
with
could be
you.
knowing how to throw some shit.
Yeah, that too.
Facts.
Yes.
Hi, I'm
Word.
Sade.
Hey,
Hello.
Welcome.
Sade.
Blessings, Sade.
I came in because I was hearing like a bunch of things and I've been having like a lot of random dreams. And two things I mentioned. I want y'all to about the whole entire team as a whole. Do not, and I mean do not forget the animals and the children. They are possibly the strongest on our teams.
Mm.
And I say that
Mm-hmm.
because they're weaponizing them now. And I had a
Girl.
dream probably 2 days ago that they are going to start targeting young Black men through through virtual reality games and video games as a whole. And what it came to me as is that because the consent age is getting younger, and because they are not needing parents to sign forms or anything like that at like 15, 16 now, it's going to be like them going to the army again. Basically, it's going to feel like that. Like they're going to be signing contracts where they feel like they're going to college or sport camps or anything like that. But in reality, it's virtual reality camps where they're going to be testing out the new games, kind of like Peripheral,
That
kind of like that show,
episode also in Black Mirror too. The
kind of like
soldiers.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And where the reason that they're targeting young black boys instead of young white boys is because in reality these games, these games that these shooting games, these army games and things like that, these are where Black boys excel, and they use their minds, they use their mental. And where it may not feel like that is what happens in these games is that they go into their theta brainwave states all the time. And so they're instantly in trance. Yeah. They're instantly like, I'm locked in. I'm here. I'm here. And these are the people, these are the kids that spot things. And then on top of that, what I kept hearing was because this generation is the most free thinking generation and probably the most smart with it, like real quick with their responses, and they think. And my nephew was 13 and he literally asked his mom, he said, "Is God real?" And she was like, "What you mean? Why you asking?" And he said, like, she was like, "You don't believe in God?" He was like, "I'm not saying I don't believe in him, but I'm just saying, you ever saw? He was like, I believe in something, but I'm just trying to figure out what y'all believe in. Like he has these conversations, and these kids, like I think so many of us have grown up in a space of being so like, shh, don't say that, don't question things. And these kids question everything now. So these are the kids that they're targeting. I also seen like masculine young girls, and that's where the whole gay agenda came in and things like that, where there are now, like, even how you see there is getting younger with trans boys and trans little, like, boys are becoming women are they're younger, they're getting younger and younger and younger, and that's where the target is going to be, the mental. So when I say don't forget these kids when it comes to these teams that we're building, because the biggest thing is, like, I realize that most of the children that I'm around are stronger empaths than I ever was. And in the sense where they're looking at something, but like as they're looking at it, they're like questioning you at the same time. You can see them questioning it, and they're like, "Hey, I don't really think that bullshit." Exactly. And because they're so challenging and we're just starting to challenge it, right? And all of a sudden we're birthing children that are challenging it. They're like, okay, this is moving too fast now. Hold on, we got to do something quicker. That's why it's more games coming out. That's why the virtual reality thing is being pushed even more now. Hi, baby. That's why the virtual reality is being pushed out more. That's why the whole trans agenda is being pushed out more, is because it's not just emasculating the young boys, is also triggering their mental states. So because we don't like that, when I remember one of your lives you were talking about what, I just had the word, what is it, telepathically talking with your children. And I realized that it's like you could kind of see the half and half parents where it's like, I don't have the time to try to do that with my children, versus they're like, oh, we do that naturally. Like where it's already like a thing. So where you're asking, one of the lady before, she asked like, what do we do about the people that, you know, they just won't go, or we just don't do anything about them. We don't do anything. We don't do anything.
What did Nipsey say?
We don't do anything about them. Like everybody can't go. It's just that simple. But I personally feel like the smartest thing to do is make sure the children do. Above anybody else, the children have to go. And at the same time, you know what children are going. And then on top of that, the animals. I had this random vision like last year, and I was like, these damn birds is talking in binary code. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out what they saying. I was like, because the way the chirps is happening, I'm like, it sound like they speaking in some type of code. Right. And I remember I tweeted like last week that like, because something you said about dreams, Astro, was like, you know, some dreams you have to like pay attention to or whatever. And one thing I noticed is that like I'm connected to dogs, right? So I'll wake up at 3 something and I'll have a dream and I'll just be like, oh, whatever. And I'll try to go back to sleep. And the dog will be like, boof, 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 boof. And I'm like, I'm up. And now I'm writing down the dream. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I pop up, the dog will stop barking. Like
exactly.
Instantly, the dog will start barking. So I have literally been like paying attention to like what I hear, or like, cause there's dogs like everywhere around me, but it's like to the point where I know which dogs are barking now. And I intuitively know what they look like, what they feel like everything. So like these animals that we connect to, don't attach to them, but connect to them. Like it's not to be attached, but connect.
I see a lot of videos too with crows.
Yes.
Like, crows are taking over entire cities.
Yes.
Like coming
I'm
down.
Like, oh my God, am I about to die? I've been like, death is near.
The
damn.
Crows and ravens, like y'all gotta the animals, they can't speak English, but they're trying to tell us something. They've been trying to tell us something for a very long time. The dolphins. I remember it wasn't too long ago, I posted a video where the dolphins were going crazy. The caimans in Brazil, they were trying to warn us of something. The cows now standing in a straight line for miles. Birds are turning up dead everywhere. Like, these aren't coincidences, guys. The birds use the electromagnetic field to navigate, and they're dying. So that means that things are literally shifting around us. So then, let's go back to...
I don't think crows is bad, y'all. I think crows are actually like one of the beautiful symbols, to be honest.
Very important.
I think they're actually beautiful. I think we just have this concept of everything black being so negative.
Yeah.
One of the solutions also, before I get off, you mentioned the children. Aside from knowing how to grow things yourself, how to build things yourself, and one of the things that I know we're going to do is have that list, delegate, take your children out of school. Okay? Take your children out of school. I don't know. I think Amani is still on here. One of the things that she was doing, and I think everyone needs to be very proactive about it, is one of the other things of recognizing who knows how to teach. Having these systems. If you haven't gotten a reading for your child, whether it's astrological, numerology, or whatever the spiritual practice that you take, the spiritual divination, know your children, create the lesson plans, or again, put money where there are people that already have created a lesson plan of how your child knows how to learn, and put money into that. And then again, going back to the homeschooling group, I don't think the homeschooling by the individual is really a proactive or a not positive, excuse me. I don't think it's the best way of handling our children's education. I think we need to have homeschooling groups and recognizing everyone's strengths and weaknesses. And there are teachers that can teach children how to do martial arts at a young age. I'm comfortable in that. like
Facts.
now, like 4-year-olds, 1-year-olds, all of that. Teachers that know how to tap into the creative side, because that's very important. All of our children are creative in their own way.
Facts.
Know how to do math and be honest about math too, because some of the math that they teach in the math ain't really math. It don't really all the way make sense.
I'm so glad you
The
said
list goes on.
I'm so glad.
That's why they not catching on, because it don't make sense.
It don't
Look.
make sense. Even the world that we're looking at, like science, also needs to be broken down. That's very important. That whole man. Okay,
And
there's that.
look, so I homeschool here at home, and when I started my journey, I realized that one of the keys is that when we homeschool our kids and we're getting them into these programs, we need to make sure that they are not just learning the same old shit that they will be learning in these schools.
Mhm.
That we're not teaching them of the matrix, and we're actually teaching them from source. That's really big, because if we're not doing that, then there's no point of them actually being at home. Don't go and say, oh, let me look up a lot of the homeschool programs are like, oh, we have a curriculum that was made by the state of Georgia. That's not what you want to do. You want to, if you're going to lock in with someone who is making a curriculum, make sure that they are locked in on the same shit that you are.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's just going to be
teaching the real history.
Teaching the real history,
And
not
connected
being
to
afraid to tell
source.
your kids, baby, you're in Africa right now. You know what I mean? Like, actually going there. Those are the type of homeschool communities that we need. Not ones that are just repeating the same old shit that the children are getting at the schools anyway.
Exactly.
And this connects to exactly what I was saying about making sure that your kids are on your team too, because we need to pay more attention to what our kids are paying attention to, right?
Exactly.
So my nephew actually seen me when we were walking, like a dog was barking at me, and I was talking to the dog, and he heard me talking to the dog, and he looked at me, he was like, "You know how to speak to animals?" And I was like, "Yeah, you want me to teach you?" He was like, "Yeah." He ran in the house and was like, "Mom, I just shot ain't know how to talk to animals." And I was like, I came back outside, and my sister was like, "Yeah, that's what you do when you telling it to sit." He was like, "No, she was talking to it." So like, he'd sit there and watch me, and then like I remember like in general, he seen me doing like yoga poses one day. He was like, "How you do that?" And like he's a Leo child, and he gets like very stressed sometimes about random things, especially about school. And one day I just showed him the child's pose, and I was like, "This is what you do when you feel yourself being anxious, or you feel sad, or you feel like you're overwhelmed." And like randomly he'll be in that pose, like just randomly sitting there, and I'm like, "What you doing?" He like, the thing you told me to do when I get sad or mad or whatever. And I'm like, "All right, cool." So we have to like pay attention to the children that are emotional. Pay attention to the children that, when I say emotional, I mean like true empaths. Like they're feeling the emotions in the whole entire room. Like these are the children that we need to connect to. Anybody that has a water sign child specifically, I need you to really listen up, nurture that kid specifically. These Scorpios, these Cancers, and these Pisces are feeling the emotions of the world right now. And they're probably more tense than any other sign other than Earth sign children. Like those are the kids that are really like connected to what is happening right now. Like, and what the way the world is shifting, and how the moon may not really be the moon, and how the energy of the sky doesn't feel real, doesn't look real, doesn't sound real, nothing that these, like, I think that's another reason why so many articles of like about autism and things like that are popping up. I think because of how the world is transcending and what it feels like right now is so much like they feel like the real earth is already within them in some type of way. So what they came to was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this, what is this?
Yeah.
This is, what is happening? So like the earth children and the water children are the ones that like I feel like we need to like, not that any other child is, that everybody has these placements. So I'm saying like what these children that have mainly water in their chart or mainly earth in their chart, work with them being grounded and things like that, especially when it comes to these unnatural weathers patterns that are happening, when it comes to all the animals and stuff like that. You have to pay attention to how these children are reacting too at the same time. Like, most kids aren't afraid of animals. Most children are not afraid of animals. I need y'all to understand that. Most children are not afraid of animals. If your child is afraid of animals, you need to pay attention to that, because they're not telling you they're afraid of animals. They're telling you something else.
That's a word. I got to point this out. Autism is a mask they want to put over the indigos.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely.
there are a lot of us here. There are a lot of us. You can call it what you want. Starseeds, indigos, crystals. We're here. We're different. And they can call us whatever they want, but we are all here with special innate skills and abilities that they're now trying to discover. They're coming out with movies like Clairvoyant, like all these different things that at first they tried to play it off like, if you say that you were a clairvoyant, clairaudient or whatever, they were like, oh, he's crazy, schizophrenic. Now it's like, oh, the new age is accepting that. So now it's okay. No, y'all know how long that indigos, crystals have been incarnating. Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, just to name a few people who come in. Just you can look at somebody's actions and tell what they're here to do. People can talk all day. Look at their actions, and you know what they're here to do. I love when somebody can talk the talk, but then walk the walk, because we can sit up here and what do you call it? We can sit up here and talk words, but after this live goes off, what are we going to do? Are we actually going to, like make the list, keep in contact?
What's the top priority?
I'm sorry?
What's the first and top priority? Like, I think that list is a no-brainer. Like, that's it. But once that list happens, like, what is the first top priority focus that can be accomplished within a week, 2 weeks, or a month?
Talking your shit.
Look to get it out of your prison. I'm sorry?
Continue talking your shit. Continue saying what you're saying. Continue doing. That's when you say top priority, right? We have this list of things that we can do, right? But how often are we actually talking about it? How often are we actually saying these things? I literally, after all these dreams, like, I was saying, like, why are these happening? Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? And I literally heard as clear as day. Say the craziest things you can say, and that keep coming to you, because that's the truth. The craziest things that we hear, like, is even with, like, telling us that we gotta find land and we gotta have all these things or whatever, right? We have to make sure we're actually connecting with the people that think like this. Yeah. And when sometimes we always say groupthink is kind of unsafe, right? But then when you come to a mindset of like, okay, is this groupthink or is this consciousness that we're connecting in? Is this? It's like more so like we're consciously connecting with people now. I think that's what happens once we get off these lives.
Telepathy is here, y'all.
It's really here.
Telepathy has been here for a while. And right now, look around you. Look at your circle. If you got people in your circle you can't trust, reevaluate yourself, because your energy attracted them in the first place. So work on your energy. Get the people who are scared out of your circle, because they can't go.
That's why I said keep saying the craziest things you could possibly think of.
Not even
in that sense, not even crazy, but like these people look. How conspiracy theorists are up? Like
you're basically betting them out.
Conspiracy theorists are up about 100 right now at this point since 2020. Exactly. Okay, so that's what I mean by saying like the most outlandish things that probably come to your head that really actually sit with you pretty well. Say it to these people around you. Say it to these people around you, because again, what do we do about the people that just can't go? They just won't go. We can't do anything. We have people that are close with us, that sit next to us, that we talk to, and we're like, damn, I'm trying to get you to get there. I'm trying to lead. You can only lead somebody so far. You can't really, all you can do is plant the seeds. All you can do. But as we're saying these things and stuff like that, like it could be people on this live right now that just because they're here, it doesn't mean that they fully understand. But because once they get off, they're thinking about something. They're like, okay, what is the part of this live that I could share with somebody, or what is something that I feel like I took from this where I could see if I connect with this person on this level, or see if they even there, or see if I can learn something else from somebody else that I talk to that's already in my circle. We have to start paying attention to the people around us that are like, we're saying these things, but we could see it's not clicking, it's not
And I
connecting.
think
These are
we
the people.
know right about
Yeah,
now. Don't you think,
I
Astro?
think we know, but I feel like some people are still, we still have that earth tether in some type of way where we're like, it's that small attachment or that little attachment that we're probably still like, but I think even having these conversations are bringing people to the point of, all right, once it's that time,
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying now, but once it's that time, I've already said what I needed to say, and now I have to do what I have to do.
You can step up to the plate. Nobody's gonna make you swing the bat, right?
At
It's
all.
up to you. So, and look, you don't got to get with. I know that I'm on 10 right now, right? You don't got to get with people that's like. You don't got to get with people that's all warriors, because it's gonna be unbalanced. A complete squad looks like an engineer, a warrior, somebody who knows agriculture, horticulture, somebody who's a hunter, right? Because we're probably going to go back to a point where we have to go out there and hunt our food. Like I said the other day, watch the show Alone on Netflix. Y'all got to learn survival skills.
What is it called?
Alone. Learn survival skills. A lot of people, you drop them in the forest, they'll die in 2 weeks. So learn how to forage. Learn what you can eat and you can't eat. The plants, the herbs. Learn how to identify poison ivy, poison oak, because it's going to come down to a point where you might be in that situation, right? Like she said, get a map of your area. Learn your area without the use of GPS.
Yeah.
Get out of any situations that you feel you are imprisoned by. What this means, like, if you are in a house that's beating you down, if you can't afford the payments, if you got a car you can't afford, but you got the car for social media, get up out of it. Get up all the fictitious living, the living that you are doing right now to keep up with the Joneses. Get up out of it. Get up out of it. Don't live in survival mode. Just live in awareness mode, y'all.
Listen to him, y'all, because it's not going to matter in the future.
Because I could tell y'all one thing. I was happier when I was homeless.
Go ahead.
I was definitely happier when I was homeless, y'all. Don't think too much about the house thing and the cars and things like that. It's a lot more to experience when you're not attached to anything.
Astro, do you have your list? Do you have like a list of people? I think that's something we were talking about action. We've been talking about action this whole live, and we talk a lot. We can talk all day. I'm feeling like
exactly.
Like,
and even then, like
action that you think, Astro, everyone can take, and even though this may be an individual decision, right? But what intentional action can we take the moment we get off of this live?
Okay, the moment you get off this live, what I would implore you to do, 555 on the clock. What would I implore you to do is, first of all, look at where you're living, look at your area, and see if it's an area that's going to be conducive for living if shit went down. Like, if you're living in a food desert, it's time to get up out of there. If you're living in an area where, let's say, like, it's a city, and I'm talking to myself because the cities are the first to be hit. Because in the cities, we depend on them for our power, for our water, for everything. What happens if they cut off the water tomorrow? What happens if they cut off the power tomorrow? So look into investing in solar panel storage units. Land is cheaper than a lot of people think, right? You can one thing that you can do is that you can they have this thing in your city. There are foreclosed homes and foreclosed lands. Look for land that is bank owned that you can go and buy because other people have what is it called?
They auction off stuff here. Yep.
Exactly. So
tax liens and all that.
look for cheap land in a good area. And when I say good area, I mean an area that has good trees, that has a good altitude. So if you haven't read The Art of War, or you don't know anything about war, or just how to strategically place yourself in a position to win, listen, get yourself in a place where if you were, let's say, in a war type of battle, you can go in a high altitude and look at your area and survey your area. This means we might, when it comes down to it, a lot of us might be living in places we never thought that we were going to live, like Wyoming, Montana, these places that are desert right now.
Because these places have big lands that nobody occupies right now.
Exactly. We all live in New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, like the popping places, and that's cool. But if things were to go down tomorrow, New York, if you live in New York, it's gonna be like ants trying to get out of a hill that's people pour gasoline on. So being proactive means look at what's happening now. It's not like we're talking about this now and like there are no train derailments that are happening. I can see if we were talking and like nothing's happening. We were just talking to be proactive, but we're talking and things are happening. So this means that you need to go ahead and start making these plans now. This year, like look for land this year. It's probably cheaper than you think it is. Let's say if your rent is, I don't know, $1,500 a month. Look at how much you're going to pay for the rest of the year in rent, and look how much it is just to buy land once. See which one is more efficient. It's time to start making efficient, effective moves so that we can put ourselves in places to win when things go downhill. And the way that things are speeding up now, it can be any moment now. And I'm not saying this to put fear in nobody. Never have an ounce of fear in your heart. But be aware. Be aware, because they're about to cut me off in 1 minute, y'all, because of the 1 hour cap. So let's go ahead and reset this now so that the energy won't get disrupted. Let me burn some sage, calm my ass down. Looks like we going for a while tonight, y'all. Looks like we going for a while tonight. We back like we never left.
I just got so tickled when you said that. Let me burn
Right?
some sage and calm. But no, for real, because you know, when you're endowed with the knowledge, like like we know what we know. So knowing what we know, there's no point in like, there's no point in pussy.
You can feel like I'm a feeler, man. Like I feel what's coming. I'm not just saying this out of pure speculation. Kayla literally just told us in our subscribers chat today, this rising, that her dream was about a lot of things that's going down. And what just happened during our live, I saw a bunch of police officers just got shot. And she just told us this rising. So.
And it was so heavy, you know, it took me a few hours to get out of that.
Yes.
That energy.
And so that lets you know the messages are clear. The messages are coming through, and we got a good connect. We got a source. There is no better connect for the information to come from. When you are tapped in, you are tapped in. And for those who aren't subscribed, me and Kayla are both on a clarity of mind journey where we're not using cannabis or anything like that. We are completely high off of life, right? We are completely tapped into the ether. So that lets you know that what we're saying right now is with 100% clarity of mind. coming from source. So when I say I feel something coming, when Amani tells y'all to pay attention to the water, when the people who are divinely put in positions to tell y'all what's happening, y'all can either listen or y'all can face the consequences. What's that noise? Is it raining?
Not here.
No,
Is it raining? Okay.
it sounds like a fan or something.
Oh, is that my fan? Hold up.
I muted myself like, still.
Y'all still hear it? Or is it off?
No, it's gone now.
Oh,
I don't hear anything.
shit,
now.
my bad. Okay. So, yes. It did sound like rain, right, Zon? It sounded like rain. Anyway, so yeah, just to kind of reset the room, to get back on the even vibe. And I'm probably going to go high again because that's just where the energy is. And I took a lot of extra Yohimbe today. Anyway, so it's time for us to get really clear about where we're going. It's time for us to understand what's happening around us. If it's happening on the east, it's coming to the west. Look what's happening in China, right? 15-minute cities. Looks like there's already a thing in China. And look how it happened in China. They're trying to implement the same exact strategies over here. Somebody said do not trust aliens or Elon Musk. We're going to talk about that because who y'all think are the good guys are probably not who y'all think they are. Anyway, so yes, let's just continue to take actionable steps. And what that means is get familiar with your farmers, your local farmers, support them. Because if I know one thing that I've been seeing in my local grocery store, shelves are looking a bit skimp, right? Shelves are looking more skimp. The supplies aren't really coming like they used to. So one of the main ways that food gets to grocery stores are trains. A lot of trains are being destroyed. Again, look at what's happening around you. Take notes. Don't be scared. Just take notes. Like, okay, this is happening. This is okay. All right. Yeah, it's time to go ahead and move to plan A. Move to plan. What is your plan A? What is your plan B? When does plan A go into effect? When is plan B going into effect? That's important. Plan A would be like, okay, if I don't know, they declare martial law, then we need to go ahead and move to our safe point. If a food shortage hit, we need to go ahead and move to our farmland and go ahead and start to grow our own food. So it's just be aware of, okay, this cause happened, this is my effect. We can see the causes, what's your effect? That's all. Power outages, yes. I've been telling y'all about power outages for a while now. I practiced last year a couple of days just with candles. That I would implore y'all to do it. If you got a weekend where you're not really doing anything and you don't really need your lights, go get some candles and work on how would you maneuver around with no lights. I would strongly suggest doing that. And if you don't have any candles at all, that's the first step that you can take, because if the power went out, if the power went out, guess what? What happened when COVID hit? And I don't care about saying COVID anymore. Instagram, do what you got to do. What happened when COVID hit? The first thing that happened was toilet paper was gone. Water was gone.
They was fighting over that toilet paper like we ain't know how to wipe our ass with rags and things. Like my dad was like, that wasn't black people doing that. All you seen in them videos is whites. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And the power that's going out right now.
Pay attention.
The power that's going out right now, these are tests. These are drills. Your Wi-Fi keeps going out, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Next is your cell phone. Next is your cell phone. they've been doing cell phone tests for years now, sending us random messages just to see how we'll react. And our reactions go straight to this thing called the sentient world simulation, but that's another. They like to do these tests, get our real-time reactions and be like, and study us like lab rats. Like, okay, we done dropped the trains. Okay, they're not doing shit. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next plan. They don't care, right?
That's what happened with monkeypox. Wasn't nobody reacting enough for that.
Something that came to mind that's really important to add to the
Feeding
list
into
is anyone that also knows how to drive boats and
How to what?
also how to drive a boat.
Facts.
drive boat.
And also if anyone's interested in learning how to fly a plane. It don't have to be a charter plane, but like one of them small things. That's definitely on my bucket list or to live list that I'm gonna learn eventually how to fly a plane. But that's something that's very important of not just thinking about cars or walking, just all modes of transportation.
I think it's important to say that no job is small either. Like, I think it's very important that we acknowledge the fact that everybody is needed in some way. We gonna need somebody to scribe. Somebody got to document all this shit that's happening.
That too.
Facts.
You know what I mean? No job is too small. And then on top of like even people that, like how you were speaking about teachers and things like that, we need people that'll be able to protect kids as a whole, not just with education, not just with fighting, but that'll be able to be like a coverage that will literally be like, all right, I could be able to run 8 kids to this certain spot right here, and the one kid in the group will know how to take care. It could be an 8-year-old that knows how to. Now, okay, this is where all the older siblings that got put into the adult situation come in. Okay, we all know, a lot of us know what that was like, being a parent at 13 years old and we didn't want to be. Listen, that's where that comes in too. Being able to acknowledge the fact that some of your children may be ahead of their time and they can take on certain roles too. Not just putting them in that place, but also just having the knowledge to do so. So like no job is too small. No part of the community will ever be too small because everybody is needed in some way.
Yeah.
In some way. We'll need somebody that, because like how we could kind of put in the mind like, okay, some people may be disposable or whatever the case may be, but there may be somebody that is quote unquote disabled that can work a axe, a firearm, or something else better than somebody else.
Even if you can make clothes. Even if you can make clothes.
That's very
because
important.
that's big. Don't ever think that's small. That's big.
Like,
We're gonna need the Tarzan wraps and things very on go.
Look at what Kanye was trying to tell us, like secretly. Look at the outfits he was putting. These dystopia type clothes. You think that's a coincidence? There's so many dystopian shows that are coming out at this point. If you're not paying attention, you're out of alignment. You are not taking notes.
They put The Walking Dead out for a reason. The Walking Dead was a very long show, running for a while for a reason.
A zombie virus revived? Come on, it's everywhere around us.
I had a dream.
The CDC made zombie warning signs, y'all. Like at this point,
I know y'all having zombie dreams. I know so many of y'all having zombie dreams. Like y'all have.
Oh my God. I've been having
dreams.
nonstop zombie dreams for the past 2 to 3 years, and it's a different type of. It's like a different type of way of that it's being handled, but all in all, zombie dreams. Different outcomes, but zombies.
Also, they're not the zombies that they put in the shows. They're more zombie in the mental, where they just kind of like they look exactly how we look right now. They just we see that ain't there. They're not there. Okay.
I mean, and the Department of Defense of our government, the Department of Defense has an actual plan, the zombie plan, where they line out what they would do in case of a zombie apocalypse. And the things like, and I keep going back to this whole zombie virus thing because I don't see anybody talking about it at all, which is alarming because they put out these subtle things at first and then it becomes a big thing. You're like, oh, I should have paid attention when it was a small thing, right? Mm-hmm. This is how they have to, like Kayla said, they have to tell us what they're doing. It's part of this reality that we still don't quite understand, right? But we know that they tell us what they're doing in the form of entertainment. Hollywood, that word in general, Hollywood. Anyway, so just look at the narrative that is around us, because at this point, TV shows aren't entertainment. They are warnings. They are telling us what's happening. So making a list, checking it twice, learning your city. And another thing that I would implore you to do, because it might come down to us getting a bit gritty. So one thing that I've been noticing in these like apocalyptic shows, Station 11 is a good one to watch too. It's on HBO Max.
Right.
Station 11. That's a really good. If you like The Last of Us, you're gonna love Station 11.
Okay.
But yes, one of the things that they did was they took over these like BJ's what do you call it? BJ's Warehouse or Clubhouse, whatever that thing is called, Whole Foods, Sam's Club. Like they took over. They pretty much mapped out their entire area. They were like, okay, if shit goes down, our team is going to take over the Sam's Club, and we're going to defend this Sam's Club with guns and yada yada. So
I like that.
Look at your city. Look at these places that have resources, and don't look at it as you like stealing, because at that point, society's gone. It's yours.
Right.
So, I mean, because
Home
I know
Depot.
that one thing that I've noticed. You said what?
Girl, that's what you took the
Right.
Ebony. We are
Really
here.
are.
She said Home Depot. We are here. If you take over the Home Depot,
Because then you
I love that
really
idea.
got.
I never
Because
understood why
you're
in the purge they didn't do
in
that.
a
It's a movie, so they don't show us where we should
Right.
really be going. They
You're
tell
not
us that
trying
we
to make
should
it
rob
smart.
banks and things. And pay attention. Whatever the movie say, do the opposite. Do the opposite. They said run the banks and shopping
Well, when it
malls.
comes to
Y'all run to Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, because banks are gonna be useless. People are gonna be wiping their ass with dollars. Like,
Please go to Lowe's. Go to Home Depot. Go to a rental shop and get a car or something. I don't know. Something more useful for us.
I have a very glaring question, and then I'm actually gonna dip out because yes, this one. Okay. Come on. My question is, what are the areas do you think we should be building up our communities in the physical world? Like which areas? One of my thoughts was I'm definitely not here for cities. And I'm also like an island girl. So I was thinking, and I've been feeling very pulled to go to Puerto Rico for the longest, but because I don't want to go too far from the mainland states, but I ain't really trying to be all up in that. However, I know that it doesn't resonate with everyone to be on an island. So, you mentioned Wyoming. So in what areas do you think will be the most optimal place where the soil is rich, where there's like-minded people and individuals, and the list goes on?
One thing I would say is Colorado. That's probably the most beautiful state I've ever been through in a road trip. But one thing that is going to be pressing on my mind that I'm going to be checking out is Area 51 ain't going to be guarded no more, probably. The Grand Canyon. Listen, the Grand Canyon, the guards are going to be off duty. I'm hitting up these places where the secrets are. So I'll probably hit up the Grand Canyon because that's a good place to take shelter as well.
Yeah.
Someplace near mountains, near big trees, near bodies of water that haven't been contaminated. The country, because one thing that I'm noticing, and these patriots are ready. They are in the woods training every single day. And then one thing I've noticed about Alone, I don't see no melanated people on Alone, And another thing that's going to happen is when it comes down to it, a lot of these lines are going to be blurred. Like it's not going to be so much like, not and for everybody, but black against white, Puerto Rican against Dominican. Like a lot of these things are gonna be like, look, it's us against the government. So know your area, but know that some people still are still like in that mindset. If you're on a patriot's land, like just kind of know friendly cities. I'm trying to like use my words wisely here. Know you're welcomed. Know you're welcome, and know how to protect yourself. But don't just, if you've never been to Wyoming, don't just like show up in Wyoming without doing any type of like research, right? So I'll pass the mic to y'all, but one thing I want to leave you with here is, if things were to go down tonight, somebody say, get you some good white folks. Listen, we're going to.
Everybody is useful. There's no small child.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these color lines are going to be blurred. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be blurred. A lot of us are going to come together for real, because we're going to see how we've been strategically kind of pent up against each other, and our histories have been falsified to continue the narrative. But if things were to go down tonight, I can probably say nobody on this live probably has a list. If you do have a list, good. If you don't, realistically, if things were to go down tonight, who would you call? Where would you go? What would you take? Write those three things down. That should be on your list first, especially who would you call, because not everybody in your circle
Gonna have the right mind.
If you hesitate before dialing that number, that ain't the person to call. Okay, if you gotta hesitate before calling them, don't even do it.
Yes. And I know a lot of us would probably want to run to our moms, want to run to our dads and stuff like that, but we're gonna all have to make some very tough decisions. And look, I'm saying these things hoping that this actually never happens. I'm not saying this is speaking into existence, but
Not
at this
projection,
point, not projection. At this point, a lot of us have been so complacent that we have brought in this existence. No, we have not been doing anything. That's why we're having this conversation. We have not been doing anything. They have been doing everything. They've been running the show when the power is within us. Look at the numbers. It's billions of us. Okay? It's the reason why they have it's the reason why they have bunkers, y'all. When it comes down to it, there was this video I reposted on Twitter the other day where it was this man speaking from a very logical standpoint, saying that it's going to come down to a time where people are going to, like, I'm talking about jab people. A revolution is coming between the jabbed and the government. And I'm going to be out the way because I'm going to let them do what they got to do. But a lot of jab people are going to realize that they've been poisoned, and then they're going to start to go after the people that poisoned them. It's the reason why they boarded up the White House, right? I mean, they fenced up the White House. But so that revolution is coming. A general strike is coming. A rent strike is coming. Like, all of these things are coming. Like, if you can play around with this Pluto and Aquarius energy if you want to. You can think that what I'm saying is woo-woo. But when it happens, March 23rd is approaching. When it happens, y'all go see that everything that I'm saying is a warning. So it's best for right now to not be caught off guard. Just link up with people you can trust. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't fall for the okie doke. And we're right in the middle of income tax season. I don't know. This just flew into my head. Someone said, we can't keep doing the same thing around this time of year when this money comes in. And if you know, just like right now, like, Lord, the wigs, the lemons, and I'm talking about cars, the lemon cars, the hair, Lord, the trips to nowhere. Like, we cannot keep doing the same old shit.
Get your business in order, and by business, your family, yourself. Plan, write
Yes,
out
get your house
before
in
you do
order.
anything. Really write out what you want to do and what it is the intention, what you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, have your list together, but specifically, what is the assignment? What am I supposed to be doing here, and how am I going to do it? Like purpose, we're talking about.
Yes.
Sit with yourself and figure out what your purpose is, what resonates with you. Forget about what you should be doing. Even, again, coming from my own perspective of me and my husband, we have children. We're artists, but at the end of the day, one of the things that we both have in alignment with each other is that we are here to uplift our community. We are here to connect. We are here to be together as a conglomerate. How are we going to accomplish this? How are we going to reach those that are like-minded? It doesn't have to be only through the arts. It can literally just be by showing up, talking about plants, talking about, I mean, crystals is cool, but, communicating the specific things and how we're uplifting our children. The list goes on. Everyone's purpose and everyone's assignment is very unique and different for them. And on that note, I'm going to get going. Peace, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ebony. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
All right. So another thing that I would say is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister. Welcome.
How's
Hey,
everyone
girl.
doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I definitely always love tapping in to see what the topics are because it's always just lifting my spirits up because I definitely feel like it's something to talk about. We definitely drop like a lot of gems, especially on your Twitter. Of course, I follow you there too, where we're just like transmuting information and sharing. So I just am grateful to be a part of the space whenever you allow.
Thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somebody just said put that tax return toward land. Great idea. Great idea.
Yes. Imani talked about that in one of her lives as well, just about like also like pairing your money with the seasons. Like the seasons also, cultivate different energies with like money, your harvest with money, your spending season with money. So just being aware of that. And then, also just how you spoke plenty of times too on astral cartography, where, you should be aware about where you're spending your time and your energy. That also is like energetic like money fuel where you may lose or you may win in the money. So a lot of those gems definitely help as far as just taking the information from you guys' platforms.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a lot of look forward to me having like some Zoom meetings where you guys, if you join, but I'm gonna be having like a lot of videos playing where I play video on identifying different things to forage, like forageable plants, herbs, survival skills. Maybe I'll play a video on what does it look like to start a fire, how to start a fire with the flint, how to build a fish trap in the woods, how to build a tree house, how to build a log cabin. Because I'm watching this show alone, and I see that, like I said before, a lot of people in the woods that don't look like us, they know how to do all of these things. It's never even mentioned in areas that I go to when it's a lot of people that look like us. We're like, oh, I want to go in the woods hiking. No.
You say that
I can't
white people thing. No.
Right. But it's not. Yeah.
No,
They
it's
know how to
not.
survive in
And
them backwoods.
Right.
They know how to.
program. Like it's a program. We've been
Some of us don't
programmed to
even
be
like
afraid of the
mud.
woods.
Our ancestors were the Native Americans, y'all. What?
Right.
One thing I did notice, and something that kind of like you kind of like touched on a little bit, but like, well, it kind of made me think of it, was that if y'all notice a lot of the headline, well, it's been enough for me to notice, is that they keep talking about sundown towns.
Oh, yeah.
These are the ones that, but these are the towns that have those lands, right? These are the towns that has those trees, those the space that they want to allow us in, and in reality, these are towns that were once populated by us, in a sense. We just kind of got pushed out,
right?
And I think like when we, because the question was like about where should we go and things like that, and like I understand the fear that they place in these sundown towns and things like that. But we have to look at around these surrounding areas around these places, because this is where they're trying to keep us from. Like, these are the areas that, and these are the places that may have the richest soil, the freshest air, the you know what I mean, the things that are conducive to us, and may not even be being used in the proper sense, if that makes sense. Like, but these are places where these people know how to do things, and it is like a program in a sense for us to be like, don't go near here. Stay, dog's barking right now, but don't stay. Get away from here. Don't come near this area. This is not an area that you want to be in, but it makes you. It should make you think, like, why? Why don't we? Why can't? And that's why I say, like, these are some of the areas that I feel we need to be looking at. Like, they always say, like, don't go to XYZ Alabama, or don't go to XY, and these are like the South. This is the South. So
Egypt.
it's like, why are we not going there? Why do you keep telling us not to go there? And it's like, oh, you'll get hurt, you'll get this, there you'll get that. But if you really think about it, I mean, having a certain group of people, like people that know martial arts, or people that know how to use firearm and things like that, I don't think we'll be able to take over certain lands. Like, I feel like if it came to a certain point, you would know those people that you can collaborate with to be like, all right, we taking this back. And I feel like everybody needs at least one person who has that mindset of, okay, we taking all this shit back.
I mean, if I'm being transparent, I don't like being around people right now. So I'm sorry, this is how it is. So when it comes down to it, I'm not going to be in areas where it's going to be jam-packed with people. I'm going to be in the most sparse areas.
The places people are afraid to go.
The mountaintops, yes. Like, I'm going to be up there, because most people are going to want to be in places where, oh, I just want to be with my friends. I'm going to go hijack a Lamborghini real quick, and I'm going straight to freaking Wyoming, or I'm going to the Grand Canyon first, bringing my people with me. These are the moves that we're going to have to start making, y'all. And listen, I'm saying this again, hoping that this never happens. Right. All right. But the way that things are looking right now, it's best to be prepared for things to go down at any point, because across the pond right now, as we're having this live, I'll say it again, there are millions of Parisians and French people in the street fighting against their government, physically fighting police officers. So that energy is coming our way.
It always starts.
The energy is coming our way. So
and we got a test of it during when all the protests and things like that happened, and we seen, like, a lot of us were afraid to fight. A lot of us were afraid to die. A lot of us were afraid to make moves, do something. Because I remember it was like we had spaces of people who were like, nah, I'm willing to die for this. And it was mostly younger. They were mostly younger. And that's why I said those are target people right now, like mentally, where they're trying to control these younger people mentally, because they have the mentality of, I came here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to die. I'm willing to do this. I'm ready to do this. So there are people that are going to be on our teams that are like, I don't live in fear, but we have to be able to acknowledge the people that may still be in that space and be like, all right, what can we do to transmute this and things like that? Because there are a lot of people that haven't. It's strength in numbers, yes, but it's also strength in the mental.
Yeah.
I think
very much so. And we need
quantity.
stronger mentals than we need in the physical, as a sense. Like, we need people to be able to be like, all right, how can we move? What's the next thing that we can do? What can we do to move forward? How can we, all right, can we go to the mountaintop? How many people can we take? Is it better to have 5 or is it better to have 10?
Yeah, because if you don't have nothing, you're not coming with me, boy. Like, you don't got no seeds. You don't got nothing. You're just going to eat off what I
You ain't even got
have.
no breathing techniques? Come on.
Extra mouth to feed. Come on. So,
I have a
y'all. Yeah, go ahead.
How close do you guys think to, you know, that saying where they say like, oh, in a minute we're gonna start paying for air? How close do y'all think that we are to that?
I'll
I
try to
mean,
hold my
we
breath as
already
long as I
here.
can.
We already there, right?
We
We
is
already
technically
we already here.
I'm sure air is a part
I
of
mean,
tax dollars for sure.
because what the pop off point might not even be like something that is going to happen locally, because just pay attention to what's happening with Ukraine and Russia and NATO and America, you know, our country. At any point, and I don't want to say, but at any point, a nuke could be dropped anywhere over here, especially New York. My heart goes out to New York for what y'all are about to go through. Anyway, I've been saying that for 2 weeks. Y'all can play if you want to. My batting average is up there, and I'm only saying that because you should listen to the people who are born with the insight. Anyway, look at what's happening with NATO. Look at what's happening with Russia. They're saying, y'all better stop supplying these boys with this and this and this, or we're going to drop a nuke. China is pairing up with Russia. And I mean,
Yep.
on a deeper level, looking in a rabbit hole, they're all on the same team, right? But they have to play these theatrics so that they can go ahead and destroy some shit and get us all worked up so that they can really take over control. But to change the narrative from, you know, things are about to get bad, we should be on fight or flight mode. I don't think that that's the case. We shouldn't be on fight or flight mode. I think that we should just be ready. We should just be ready, because New York, I already told y'all, just go watch the live I did like 2 weeks ago. I already named the cities, and all those cities are under attack right now. But watch the water around our country, especially the states that are bordering the ocean. There are strategy is being put in place right now, y'all, to where if you're not using your mind to make a mental note of what's happening, then what is coming is going to happen like a thief in the night. You're going to be robbed, right? So the first thing that I would tell you to do is go on Amazon.com. Although I don't really, you know, it is what it is. Go on Amazon.com, just search survival bag. You don't have to go to Walmart and individually pick out an axe or a gun. Just go on Amazon, buy, you know, spend like $30, buy a survival bag, have it mailed to your home, put it in your closet. You're already one step ahead of the game. Next, go buy some perishable goods. Have some beans, have pounds of rice, have at least a couple of gallons of water if you're somebody that can store that water. Just ready.
Yes.
Stuff that you're not planning on touching at all. Just have it ready, right? Those are some things that I can tell you that if I were you, I will be doing. And I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't already have ready myself. I'm ready. I'm like, bring that shit on right now, because I don't want this stuff to go down. But look, y'all, the way that things are happening right now, do y'all really want it to continue? Do y'all want to continue paying rent, going to see your job? So look at it as a positive and negative. If things go... Kayla, what are your thoughts on that? I feel like I'm talking a lot. Like, what, you know, like...
No, I will piggyback off of what you just said, and I will say that I think a lot of the fear initially is that people don't want to give up this shit, and we have to realize that this is the way that it is set up right now is not the way that it's supposed to be. Dystopia is actually paradise.
Facts. Say that again for the people that didn't hear you. Come on.
Dystopia is paradise, an opportunity to get back to our roots. There is nothing to be afraid of when it comes to being self-sufficient and living off of our fucking land.
Yes.
You know, there's nothing to be afraid of. The building fall, baby, the lights cut off, like who? Okay, we're gonna be good regardless. We were already good before that, so we're gonna be good after.
Yeah, and I want to say too, like my dad, before he passed away, he would talk about this. He was in the military, and people thought he had PTSD, even down to all my teachers and even like my parents. Like everybody was just like, "Your father's sick, so don't listen to it." Even when I would go visit him, like, so what he's saying is not real. And then to be also, that's why I really was attracted and came to your space, is because I was like, oh, you sound literally like my father. Exact things that he was saying. And so all the preparation that he had of me as a child just feels like second nature now, because it's like, oh, now these are the times. Like he was way ahead. Like this was before Instagram. He was telling me this stuff. So like he was way ahead of the time. And even like with like, I just remember like he was buying swords because he thought it was happening. Like when you get the download is intense sometimes, so it feels like it's right now. So he thought it was happening like right then, like that year. I think it was like 2012 that he thought it was happening. But he was buying swords, telling us to like, we were learning karate, martial arts, me and my brother. I was always in every sport. So it was just like, keep him athletic. Don't let him quit track. And now it's like, I see why he was like kind of saying those things. And even when his brother called me the other day, telling me like, because I said, oh, I work out once a week. And he was like, I'm going to need you to get that to like 3 times a week. Or 5. Or 5. Yeah, he was like, at least start at 3. Because I had gotten to a point where I was like, I was vegan at one point and I just couldn't like work out that much. I felt like my energy was just so down. But now that I'm like balancing it out, and I'm not eating meat all the time, but like here and there. But anyways, I feel that, Angel, I'm gonna need you to get down. I feel that right now is a time where it's really not to play games with what's going on. And it's no time to also try to convince people, because I saw how my father tried to convince people and he was just labeled as crazy. So also, if you have anybody in your corner that is being labeled as crazy or PTSD, or they were in this and they experienced this, that's why they talking like that, they're not. And so like, connect with them, because like somebody said earlier, like usually the crazier, the most ridiculous thing that you have in your head that is like keeps repeating itself is like what's coming into fruition and why the feeling is so strong.
Listen, it's 2023. We had 2 train derailments yesterday. What's crazy anymore? What does that even mean? Like our whole country is crazy.
Yeah.
If you could like just mute your mic, that feedback is driving me crazy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Like what's I don't even honestly I despise that word, because what's normal, what's crazy? Look at our country. We are living in an insane asylum. 25% of adults now have some type of mental illness, are prescribed to some type of pharmaceutical. So really, what's crazy? Like a lot of people are depressed, have anxiety. So if you are normal in a crazy society, then you are crazy. I love the people who are like deemed like ADHD, different. Oh, they're free thinkers. Yeah, come over here. Come to me. You're my people. Because if you are like,
Right.
if you are okay with just subscribing to the getting the jab, standing in a straight line, doing what your government says because they'll always protect you. First of all, you shouldn't even be in this live if that's how you think. But you know, anyway, we are here to change the paradigm. We're not like, if y'all think it's normal to be slaving your entire human experience away at a job for even 8 hours. I don't even like 4 hours because I got Uranus in my second house. But anyway, it's not normal. Rent is not normal.
Systems are crazy. People are not crazy. The systems that we have to be under is what is crazy. That is the difference. I don't feel like people are quote unquote crazy because, like you said, we're just energetic beings who are downloading different information in maybe different times. Like he said, his father downloaded that information in, let's say, like 2012, and is catching up with us now in 2023. And they may have, you know, looked at him as crazy just because they weren't able to relate to the information that he was getting at that time. But that's why, like we said earlier, spaces like this where we're all able to share our downloads and our information and collaborate to connect the dots, pretty much, we come to find out that we are not crazy. It's the systems that we are under in this realm that is crazy.
Come on with the word.
Even with vaccination, he spoke about that before. Like, he was like, don't, whatever you do. And that's why I didn't get vaccinated. I didn't know anybody that was talking about this. I literally only had my father at the time when 2020 hit because of I was in fashion school in New York City. Like, who was talking about this? Nobody I was around. So I literally only had his thought to be like, don't get the vaccination. Because I remember very vividly, me and my brother, he sat us down and had a conversation. This was way before even the internet was like a whole thing. Like, that's why I'm like, if you're also receiving a download, trust it. Because also, you might know something that everybody else might not even be on yet. Even the people that are on whatever they're on. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, trust what you're receiving and move forward and share it how you feel called to share it. Because that's what's going to save a lot of people. Because honestly, if I didn't have my father tell me that, I would have been jabbed up. So, and I wouldn't have then noticed what was happening when the pandemic was happening. I wouldn't have been like, oh, this is not real. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go to Puerto Rico while all of you are panicking and just chill out. Like, I literally, people thought I was a little bit cuckoo because I was just like freely walking around, no mask, because I was never had a COVID symptom. So, but other people, the fear is what is like we're clutched onto. And I feel like this is being proactive, like sharing this, because I feel like although it can scare people, it can also eliminate fear because now you know what it is.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, like, I don't have an ounce of fear of my heart. Y'all gonna have to do what y'all gotta do. If you gotta, like, y'all can send your best snipers, boys. See if they come back. Like, I'm on that mode. I'm on God mode is activated for real. It's time to get out your. It's time to get out your lower self. It's time to get out your lower self. Like, raise your frequency. Believe in yourself. Energy never dies. So if they take your body, they can never have your soul. A lot of your children who are saying these things to you, they are the ancestors that are reincarnating. That's why they when they're born, they're looking around like, oh shit, I'm back. All right, let's turn shit up. That's why Gen Z are not afraid like millennials.
They're not having it. They're not having to work. They're not having to work for 8 hours. Like, they're not
Exactly.
having it. They're like, well,
exactly. All right, y'all. So it's 6:48. Thank y'all for coming up. Me and Kayla go finish this out with just the two of us. Thank y'all. We love y'all. All right, peace. Okay, so man, we've been here for almost 3 hours. And I still don't think that's enough time, but you know, we might have to do another live coming up here soon. But this was needed, and more talks like this need to continue. We need to continue to push the narrative of preparedness, of being aware, looking around you. Do not be distracted. There are a million things on Netflix right now to keep you distracted. It's up to us. So, from a motherly aspect, what would you tell the woman just to, you know, even what would you tell the woman and the man just to like, what's your advice for them, you know?
Don't be afraid. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's one of my favorite sayings. And as a mother, I always like to intertwine whatever I'm doing, my kids are doing. I have a 16-year-old. She's probably watching this live right now. It's very important to keep it real with your kids and not let them fall to the precipice of society. When we learn and as we are transcending, like if everyone on here right now who has kids should be having the same conversation with your kids. There is no point to right now where we are right now. Don't keep your kids in the dark on anything at all, because when something happens, you want them to be as ready as you are. My daughter came in the room early and she said, my phone, we were talking about the cell phone glitches, and we have a code around here, and people would think crazy, but when shit goes that we got like a couple of codes for a couple of things. And I think taking that type of initiative, this is the season of initiative. This is the season of action.
And y'all, she got Mercury and Neptune in her 12th house. Y'all better listen up and take notes.
Like, this is the season of action. There is going to be, and we've talked a lot about correlations and dreams. Y'all, this is not a joke. Like, we are, dystopia is coming. But and again, I'll say their dystopia is our paradise. So don't be afraid about that, but just know that this shit will fall. And it has to fall. It has to fall for you. It has to fall for me. It has to fall for us. So let's let it. Let's also be ready so that when it does, we got our game plan and we know what we're doing. Astro, you say all the time, they got their plans. What is our plan?
I mean, beautifully put. Honestly, that sounded like gospel for real. Thank you. Maybe next week we might have to do 2 lives, y'all, depending on the energy. One thing that I would implore you all to do is, again, I'll repeat this to sound like a broken record. Get your bug out bag. Get a ham radio. Get a crank radio. Get a solar panel recharger to charge. I mean, if phones are even still, I don't know if their networks are going to be up, but you can use your phone for a lot of other things. So get a solar panel USB charger so you can charge your things. Get a life straw. Get a raincoat. Get rope. Get hunting supplies. Flashlights that do not require batteries. I would just say we're going to have can you hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know how to listen. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna have to specifically talk about preparedness, getting ready. What does that look like? Because I can tell just from a lot of the comments tonight that a lot of people don't know what to do or the first step to take. And that's okay. That's at least you know where you're starting at. All right. So we need to have a meeting on what does it look like to be prepared. Look for that on the next live, or maybe we'll just do a special 1 hour live just to talk about preparedness. And maybe I'll bring in a special guest or something, who's like, quote unquote, an expert or somebody that's like trained in this, because I can't push this word to y'all enough. I feel it like my body's on fire right now. Like throughout this whole life, my body has been like on fire. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Just be ready. Please be ready. We're going to have a meeting so we can talk about what that looks like next week. But for right now, maybe just start doing some research. Go to YouTube University, look at preparedness, look at, you know, the preppers, people who have been doomsday prepping for a long time.
Is ready. Foraging is a big thing. Knowing what is in your yard, like as things are popping up right now, go out and see what's in your yard that's edible. I guarantee it's something in your yard that you can eat.
Somebody said, what's the time frame? We're in 2023, so their time frame is within 7 years. But the way that they have been speeding things up, it's a bit. You ever been next to somebody who you can tell is like unhinged? Somebody who you can tell is just like, they have like nervous energy. You don't know what they're gonna do. Like they could be whatever. That's how it feels right now. Our government is unhinged. They are nervous, and we can look around us. It's chaos. It's noticeable chaos. Like I said, how many trained enrollments is it going to take for people to say, "Oh shit, maybe I should do something about this"? Because a lot of us don't feel like we can do anything, right? And that's where the problem comes in. So we're in a 7-year. Things are really going to wrap up in a 9-year. I'm telling y'all, this is a 7-year. Next year is a year of power. That's their favorite number, 8. And then we're going to move into 9.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that tomorrow the world is going to be on fire. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that it's already on fire. And we need to figure out a plan, a logical plan of action, right? We need to figure out how we can meet up in person, talk about these things, like Don said, without our cell phones, and possibly even invest in, you know, get yourself a Faraday bag, so that when we do meet up, you don't have to worry about interference. Because live meetups are coming, y'all. Live meetups are coming. Like I said, I'm going to be seeing some of y'all in y'all cities here really soon. So where to buy seeds? You can go to grocery stores. If you live near a Sprouts, I got all my seeds from Sprouts. Whole Foods has seeds. Trader Joe's, I think, maybe has seeds. Just check your local grocery store, but do it tomorrow before more people are hip to what's happening. Because when more people understand that food shortage is looking more like a reality, then they are going to scramble for seeds. So get ahead of the curve, buy seeds now. And with that, I think we should go ahead and end the live because they're going to cut us off at 7. Thank y'all so much for being here for the entire 3 hours. I really appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we have the film night. We're watching The Matrix, 7:20 p.m. Look out for the link in my bio. I'll be sure to put it in my stories. But when this live is done in a minute, sit down with yourself in silence and be honest. Are you ready? And if not, what is your starting point? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? And I hope that you have it in your heart to take action. Don't be afraid, but just know what's happening and know where you're going to go. I love y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Be blessed and enjoy the synchronicities. Peace.
5D Mystery School.